our commission meetings. We'll start directly before we call the meeting to order of the City Commission meeting for September 10th with an invocation from myself. For those that'd like to participate voluntarily, please stand and bow your heads. Thank you for your presence this evening. Dear Heavenly Father, we give thanks for our fair weather and the freedoms to civilly and peacefully meet with our citizens to review, discuss, and act upon the business of our city this evening. We ask you to continue to guide our staff and provide them the wisdom to continue our city's financial recovery with our discussions and actions. Greater yet, dear God, our prayers remain with the family of Mr. Charles Kirk today in his untimely murder. For this, dear God, we ask forgiveness. Please remain close to our men and women in uniform throughout the world who defend and protect our freedoms at home. We ask you to watch over all our first responders who provide for our safety, health, and well-being every day. For all of this, dear God, we give thanks. Please give wisdom to our world leaders in their quest for world peace and provide your intervention in their communications to result in their success as only you can provide. May we remember that nothing enters our lives accidentally, and also remember that behind our every experience is our loving, sovereign God. And it is written in your word in Isaiah chapter 58, verse 11, and the Lord will guide you continually and satisfy your needs, and you shall be like a watered garden, like a spring of water whose waters never fail. May we always look to you, dear God. In your holy name we pray these things. Amen. Call this meeting to order at 6:02. If you join me in the Pledge of Allegiance, please. Pledge of allegiance to the flag of the United States of America and to the republic for which it stands, one nation under God, indivisible, with liberty and justice for all. Thank you all. Welcome, Mr. Walker.
What a pleasure.
Madam Manager Altop, do we have a quorum this evening at this time?
Yes, sir, we do.
Okay. And Commissioner Green will be just a few minutes late.
Yes.
She will be present.
Correct, yes, sir.
And Vice Mayor is present.
I'm here.
Welcome.
Thank you.
Are there any additions or deletions to the agenda this evening?
Yes, Mayor Hope, there's one fee waiver, for Sheila Penny for St. Joseph's Church for a church service in the park.
Okay.
And then there's for Lisa for the library to have a trunk or treat event.
Are they present to speak to that? Do we have anyone in the audience to speak? Okay.
Yes.
And that is on what date, or do they have a date set for the trunk or treat?
The
library?
trunk or treat is on Halloween itself,
Oh, okay.
October 31st. And then
And it will be at the library property, or?
no, at Robinson Park.
Okay, okay.
Yes.
Anything else?
And then for the one at the other one, the church, it's on September 28th at Maddox Park.
Okay. And then if I may add, two business items. One, discussion and possible action for a volunteer citizen advisory committee when we get to that. And then also advertising and posting for the permanent city manager position. Discussion and possible action under new business.
Adding it where you guys adding? Are you adding?
Yeah, she
those
had
to the guests?
Yes.
to guess, okay. And I'm adding those two things under new business. Anything else from anyone? Okay. With that said, I'll entertain an adoption of the agenda with those additional items.
So moved.
I have a motion from Commissioner White. Do I have a second?
Second.
Okay. And a second from Vice Mayor Bailey. He's got something. Oh.
Oh, for green.
Great. Any further discussion regarding the adoption of the agenda? Anyone from the constituents in the audience with any discussion or regarding the motion? Hearing none, let's go to a vote. All those in favor of the adoption of the agenda, say aye.
Aye.
Aye as well. Nays, like sign. Hearing none, motion carries 4-0. Next is the consent agenda. I'll entertain a motion to consider the consent agenda.
So moved.
I have a motion from Vice Mayor Bailey. Do I have a second?
Second.
A second from Commissioner White. Any discussion regarding the consent agenda motion from the dais?
Nope.
Okay, hearing none. Any comments from the constituents in the audience regarding the consent agenda? Hi.
Hi, Karen Fiore.
How are you, Ms. Fiore?
Good, thank you. So the consent agenda includes the transactions, correct?
Yes,
Bill
ma'am.
payments.
Okay, I just want to make sure I'm not.
Bill payments and the minutes, yes, ma'am.
Okay, thanks. So I requested now for a few months, public record requests for the AFLAC. I requested that I see some statements where the employees are actually being deducted from their paychecks, and then that corresponds with the AFLAC payment. I have yet to receive that. I sent an email to staff and the commission stating that printing the copies wasn't even necessary. I can come into the office, and I still haven't received response from that. I did receive one response from Deanna that she acknowledged my inquiry,
Okay.
but that has been the end of it.
Okay.
I would still like to see that if
Okay.
possible. I noticed that for Duke payments, currently there's 13 payments for Duke Energy, starting from 10/1. Your 10/1, according to your document, stated it was for the September payment, so that's fine, I get that. But then you have a total of 13 in the month of August, and you still have 1 month to go. So that means that you're not, put in the correct dates, or something's going on with your Duke there.
Okay.
You should have been pulling that back to the proper year.
Okay,
And right now, you're only showing that the September is sitting in your 25, but in your 25 actuals incorrectly, but there's actually 2 months sitting there.
okay,
You're going to tonight adopt this transaction list, and again, the Maris Visa monthly August invoice. So not one
detail.
piece of paper that tells me what's included in that $823. We're in a deficit. We should be making sure that we're rubber stamping every single penny, and not one inquiry about that. I believe that it was an inquiry from your citizens to ask for the backup for what your transactions for your invoices were. That's all I have for the transactions.
Regarding the Maris credit card detail, is that a voluminous amount of receipt copying to have that for us, or scanning? Could it be
It
scanned?
depends on how many transactions, but it shouldn't be that.
But it's something that could be scanned into our packet?
Yeah, of course.
Okay, if we could do that, if we have the staff time to do that from this point, that way it'd be available. Thank you. Yes, sir, Mr. Lewandowski?
Yes, good evening, Bill Lewandowski, citizen. So I'd just like to bring to your attention that you're still approving bills without having a clue of its impact on your budget. So you have no running budget, you don't know where you are vis-a-vis your bottom line. So you're just approving these things, and you have no idea still what percent of your budget is being spent either in toto or for individual items. Thank you.
Okay, thank you, sir. Anyone else? Okay. Hearing no other, we'll have to go to a vote. All those in favor of the consent agenda with the notations from our constituents in the audience, say aye.
Aye.
Aye as well. Nays, like sign. Hearing none, motion carries 5-0. Thank you. We'll start the public hearing at 6:09. That clock says 6:05, but I think it's 6:09 unless someone wants to check my clock.
We're all different.
We're all different but close. No cigar. Okay, the agenda item 1 is resolution number 2025-25, tentative rate of ad valorem taxation for fiscal year 25-26.
Mr. Mayor, I'll go ahead and read the resolution. This is Resolution 2025-25, a resolution of the City of Archer, Florida, determining the amount of and fixing the tentative rate of ad valorem taxation for fiscal year 2025-2026, determining the current year rollback rate, the date, time, and place for the first and second public hearings as required by law, authorizing the interim city manager to change the budget hearing dates if necessary, providing for conflicts and severability, repealing all resolutions in conflict, and providing an effective date. Whereas Chapter 200 of the Florida statutes provides a procedure for the adoption of ad valorem tax and millage rates associated therewith, and whereas Section 200.065 of the Florida statutes provides for the adoption of the proposed millage rate together with the establishment of a rollback rate, millage rate computed pursuant to Section 200.065(1) of the Florida statutes. Whereas the city manager has prepared a tentative budget and computed a proposed millage rate necessary to fund the tentative budget other than the portion of the budget to be funded from non-ad valorem taxes. Now therefore be resolved by the City Commission of the City of Archer, Florida as follows. Section 1, the foregoing recitals are true and correct and incorporated by reference. Section 2, the City Commission finds and determines that the proposed tentative millage for the fiscal year 2025-2026 is declared at 6.4322 mils, which is $6.43.22 per 1,000 of assessed property within the city of Archer. The rollback rate is computed pursuant to Section 200.065 of the Florida statutes is declared to be 5.2910, which is $5.2910 per 1,000 of assessed property within the city of Archer. The proposed tentative millage for fiscal year 2025-2026 represents a 21.568% increase over the rollback rate. The date and time and place of the first and second public hearings for the City of Archer to consider the proposed millage rate and tentative budget and adopt a final millage rate and finalize the budget respectively are scheduled as follows. First budget hearing is, of course, this evening. We're doing that right now, 6 p.m. at the City of Archer City Hall. The second public budget hearing date and time is September 24, 2025, 6 p.m., City of Archer City Hall. In the event the Board of County Commissioners of Alachua County or the Alachua County School Board schedules any budget hearing on a date scheduled for the City of Archer budget hearing, the city manager is hereby authorized to change the date of either or both of the hearings. All resolutions or parts of resolutions in conflict with any of the provisions of this resolution are hereby repealed. If any section or portion or section of this resolution proves to be invalid, unlawful, or unconstitutional, it shall not be held to invalidate or impair the validity, force, or effect of any section or part of this resolution. This resolution shall become effective immediately upon its passage and adoption, and therefore by affirmative vote of the majority of the quorum present, the City Commission of the City of Archer, Florida, at this regular meeting, this 10th day of September 2025, tested by Dean L. Top, our interim city manager, tested and signed by Fletcher Hope, our mayor, and approved by myself as to form and legal sufficiency. The appropriate motion is to pass Resolution 2025-25 as read by its entirety. I do that, Mr. Mayor, because we, under Section 200 of the Florida statutes, we have to announce the rollback rate, the percentage increase, and our millage rate. So reading that in full. quantifies and is in keeping with that section of the statutes.
Thank you. For the sake of further discussion, do I hear a motion to consider?
So move.
I have a motion from Vice Mayor Bailey. Do I have a second?
A second.
A second from Commissioner Green. Any further discussion from the dais? Yes, ma'am.
Question.
Commissioner White?
Have we been able to get a hold of the sheriff about the,
MTSU?
Yeah, MSTU.
It's the county, but
Hmm?
it's the county that we need it. But
I thought-
what's the question?
What was, I want to know how it's benefiting us, and, I talked to one county commissioner, but, I didn't go into detail with her because I wanted to see how, if it would benefit us. We're going up 21.56 on our taxes, and that's scary. But,
Yes.
I also know we've got to have some income, so.
That's still ongoing until we get answers from, and Vice Mayor, I'm not trying to put you on the spot, but did you understand that you would get something written from,
No, they
They
did not
just-
promise me that.
they just gave you the
prom-
verbiage on the
Yeah,
telephone calls, correct? Or
Correct,
text?
and I promised to, pass my message along.
Okay, and we
But
did last
that
week.
was the question, what do we get? But the thing is with the MSTU, we get certain benefits from the different entities. So, yeah, so sheriff office is not the only one, but we do need to know what they,
But on my taxes, it only lists the sheriff.
well, okay, so according to Alachua County, whoever called me back, that was what I was told, it's
What you
more than
received.
the sheriff's office.
We need to meet with the county, don't we?
Yeah.
Or at least ask their opinion to put something in writing, what those additional advantages are to that. Okay. As well as we had discussion, I believe, just asking those sister municipalities that have dropped the MSTU, have they felt a repercussion or any difficulty from making that change? And I said I'd work on that, and I did, so.
Well, I was going
It's
to
still-
this week, and did.
Yeah, it's still worth just reaching out to him, so even if we double do with the municipalities who have dropped it, we know why the larger municipalities have, whether they have their own entity, but we could get that information and bring it to us at least at the next hearing and be able to share that.
The biggest thing is trying to catch them when they're only open 2 days a week.
Yep, absolutely.
And, 4 hours a day, I think, Micanopy and La Crosse.
Across, yeah.
So, yeah,
Okay. Any other discussion from the dais? Hearing none, anything from the constituents in the audience regarding this resolution? Yes, ma'am, Ms. Fiore.
Hi, Karen Fiore. So can someone please verify who calculated the percent rollback rate? Did it come from the 420 or was it a calculation from staff? Was it the city attorney that calculated it? At 21.568?
It was staff.
Okay, did it come right from your 420?
I don't remember, actually, to be honest with you, why.
Well, because it's been wrong since I've been coming to the diocese here, so I just want to make sure that that's correct
Correct, this
before.
year.
So that's all. That was my concern. And the attorney mentioned it, but I don't understand why we would, adopt to have our first reading when we already did that last meeting. It doesn't make any sense. And I just want to state for the record, so for everyone sitting here today, remember that this is going to the max with our MTSU or MSTU, whatever the initials are. So that's pretty big of a jump, and with all the recent activity that's been going on here in Archer, as of today even, every penny counts. So I believe that this increase only provided us with like $50-some thousand increase in our revenue stream, and we just lost quite a bit of that, about 3.51%, given today's events. So we should be paying more attention, and this is a huge increase.
ma'am.
Thanks.
Thank you. Anyone else? Yes, or Mr. Lewandowski?
Good evening, Bill Lewandowski again. So I think that if you pass this resolution, at least this first reading, I think you owe it to the public to give a detailed written explanation on why. I think that you need to be honest with the public, and you need to lay it out to the public exactly why this is happening. And you also need to put this within the context that you intend to raise the water rates, which you probably have to. So that needs to be within that context. And added to that, I would also say that you should have some sort of discussion in this, it should be a single document, that you're also going to have to charge folks for, eventually what their sewage rates are going to be, the wastewater rates. Because that's going to be substantially higher than has been discussed previously over the last several years. So let's give people a complete picture on what it's going to cost to live in Archer. Thank
The
you.
dashboard, including the waste fund. Yes, sir. Thank you. Good
Good evening, Charles
afternoon.
Tufano.
Yes, sir, Mr. Stefano.
In addition to what Mr. Lewandowski just asked for you, I would like to see with that document the specific things that this dais is going to do to prevent further loss of our money.
Yes, sir.
Okay, how are you going to manage all of these problems we have had for probably going on 2 years now? Okay, Mr. Dallas has given us tremendous amount of ideas and things that should change. He gave me a draft copy of it at the last meeting. I looked through it. Many of the things that he suggested have not been put in place yet to protect the funds.
Yes, sir.
Okay, Mrs. Fiore comes up here time and time again with errors. And at the last commissioner meeting, we had reports. Wasn't a balanced budget. It was just reports of data that had errors in it. So I would like to see, before you raise my taxes, for a person who's on a fixed income, what you're going to do to stop this bleeding from happening.
Yes, sir.
Okay, and I'm emotional about it.
Yes, sir.
What's been going on in our city for over a year and a half now is unacceptable.
Yes, sir.
And if you can't do the job, then step down.
Yes, sir.
Thank you.
Thank you, Mr. Stefano. Anyone else? Yes, ma'am, Ms. Lopez. Welcome.
Thank you. Roberta Lopez, this is very short because I agree with the last, how many speakers?
The last what, I'm sorry?
4 speakers
Okay.
or 3
Yes, ma'am.
speakers?
Sorry, you turned to the
Yes.
audience. I didn't hear you.
Yes,
sir.
I just would like to say that I agree with every statement that's been made here concerning our funds
Yes, ma'am.
and how they are managed. And I too think that we need to do a lot more planning. I think we need to have planning workshops when it comes to our money.
Yes, ma'am.
I think we need more transparency, and we've got to do better than what we've been doing.
Yes, ma'am.
This is a bittersweet day for me. I'm very, very sad, and in some respects, I'm kind of happy that this commission and everybody else here can see what is going on in our city. And it certainly is a pleasure to see you, Attorney Scott. I haven't seen you in a while, and I'm glad you're here.
Thank you, ma'am. Anyone else? Okay, hearing none. We'll go to a vote. All those in favor of resolution number 2025-25 in its first reading, say aye.
Aye.
Aye as well. Nays, like sign. Motion carries 5-0.
Can we please reach out to the county, Deanna, and find out just what we need to do to get off the MSTU? Because we just raised their rates, and we need to remove the MSTU.
We acted on doing it in the next fiscal year, but not by exception for this year at this point. But we did already.
I didn't think we
Yeah.
acted on
Well, we
moving
did
forward.
not, we didn't act on it because we were trying to get that information so we would know, how
But the
it's
plan
going
was to
Correct.
release ourselves from it
Correct.
for the next budget year because we're already past the deadline for this year,
Correct,
from what I understand. So we,
right.
but we
Yes.
certainly can start acting in that
Exactly, that's all I'm asking is we need to.
in alignment with just what are those advantages and disadvantages. We're prepared to do that to give back to the citizen. Mr. Tufani, that's just one of the actions that is not current for you, Mr. Tufani, but it's in the plan to release ourselves of MSTU if we do not see the value in that, and that would then reduce and bring a savings back to you. I don't know if you remember that from the last meeting, but
We had the senior attorney here. Florida law states they have to respond to an emergency in the city of Archer.
Yes,
Yes.
Police.
yes.
Fire not so.
Fire and,
No, fire not so, but police do. Correct?
Right, right.
So my thing is, we don't even need a discussion. They're obligated to us. I'm ready to get out of it today.
okay. Next item. Yes, sir. Is,
I'm here for the next item.
yeah, that closes that public hearing item. The next public hearing item, starting at 6:25, is our resolution number 2025-26, our proposed tentative budget for the fiscal year 25-26. Thank you, Mr. Lee, for being here. What's that?
Mr. Mayor, would you like me to go ahead and read the resolution
Yes,
by title only? And that'll
please.
put and we can have a motion, and that'll put the matter on the floor.
Thank you.
This will be Resolution 2025-26 of the City of Archer, Florida, resolution of the City of Archer, Florida, providing for the approval of the proposed tentative budget for fiscal year 2025-2026 for the City of Archer, Florida, setting a public hearing date, providing for publication of notice, providing for conflicts and severability, providing for an effective date. The appropriate motion is to pass resolution number 2025-26 as read by title only, and that'll place it on the floor for further discussion.
Thank you, sir. All right.
So moved.
Have a motion. Do I have a second for full discussion and review?
Second.
Have a second from Vice Mayor Bailey. Yes, sir. Mr.
Good
Lee,
evening,
you're
Mr. Mayor
on.
and City
Thank you.
Commissioners. Tonight, the budget that is before you incorporates the direction the commission gave at the last budget workshop. I'll recap that for you briefly and then give you a brief recap of your budget. Your total general fund budget for the proposed fiscal year is $886,051. It does show a small revenues over expenditures in the amount of $27,000 with a proposal to put half of that into your wild spaces repayment and then half of that back into your water fund for your repayment to the water fund. In your utilities, your water fund revenues are proposed at $316,246.08. My computer is frozen. Your solid waste fund is budgeted at, my computer won't do math, about $130,000. And then your wastewater fund is budgeted at $14,250,000. In your water fund, you do have if you look at all your utility funds, you have a $160.59 loss, which we have another action item following this that I think will address that. One thing to note in your utility funds is there is no payment towards the principal outstanding on your Ameris line of credit. It does cover the interest expense, the monthly interest you're paying, but it is not making any payments on that loan. In general, the items included in your budget from the Commission's direction are to reduce the recreation employees' hours to 30 hours a week, eliminate the West Farms contract, hire a part-time bookkeeper at 20 hours a week, move a Public Works employee from the bookkeeping position back to Public Works, change it to one person on call per week, one part-time city manager at $45,000 annually, a water rate increase of $3.50 per month, and a solid waste rate increase of 50 cents per month. One thing to note is you will have to adopt, I don't know how Archer does it, either ordinance or resolution, but you will need to adopt separate resolutions to increase your water and solid waste rates. That is my presentation. Happy to answer any questions for you, Mr. Mayor.
What was the water rate?
It's $3.50 per month.
And
per
50
customer.
cents per month for solid waste, which
No, for water, for solid waste,
which
it's
is
50 cents. Yes.
per month. Which that's to be determined. We haven't met with Waste Pro.
Yeah, that is based off of your current contract
Yeah.
price. I'm not aware what your contract price may be going to, your new one.
Doesn't it come up in January of 2026 for review? Or is it 2027? Do you know?
I don't remember at the moment what date it
I
is.
think it was January 26, so that's, if we could reach out to Waste Pro and just see when they're going to present their new rates for us. That would just be one ticker to hold on
You
to.
do a budget amendment when you
Yep.
get those.
And we could amend the budget accordingly, but that's something we may have to consider. Are there questions from the dais regarding this budget? Okay, I have just a couple questions, if I may. And this could be either, this all top yourself or Dallas. In the bill payments this month, the legal fee came out of the water fund. I don't know if that was just an error.
Like I said in the last several meetings, we're paying out of which fund has the
Has
most
the
money.
most
to-
funding, okay.
Who can afford it based on what
That's-
revenue's
I
coming in.
made that
mean,
assumption, I just wanted to
right,
clarify.
right. So it's getting low, so we're just working through it.
Through each
Yeah.
payments.
Yeah, I
But in the
realize-
budget,
I
it's
realize
listed in the
they're
general
wrong.
fund, correct? The entire legal fee, it's not split,
Correct.
correct? Okay,
I originally had an administrative service charge from the water fund to the general fund to pay for those sorts of activities. Unfortunately, I could not balance your water fund with that fee
Right,
in there.
that's what okay, that's why I asked that series of questions, I just want to make sure it wasn't split or anything. On page 5, under Community Center Insurance, FMIT, $10,000, is that before consideration of something that's on our agenda tonight to
Your
consider?
current budget is based off of staying with your current insurance provider.
Carrier, okay.
So if after the next item you make a change,
It could be-
I can make those changes into your budget for your final
Okay,
adoption.
because that could be some savings there to help
Correct.
balance a little bit more, that's why I'm asking that question.
Yeah, I didn't want to assume the commission was.
No, I just wanted to bring that to the
I have highlighted
constituency's attention that that's on our agenda to have additional savings
all the purple lines are all the insurance lines that would be affected by that
that could be
change.
affected. And again, in respect to you, Mr. Tufani, and your question, what are y'all doing about trying to save our monies or whatever? That's just another line item that's happening tonight as we speak, so. Okay, and then I just brought up about the solid waste and that we needed to reach out to Waste Pro. So we could be prepared for an amendment to the budget if we find that it's gonna be more than 50 cents. That's all the questions I have. Anyone, any constituents in the audience? Yes, ma'am, Ms. Fiore.
I just have a
Oh, I'm
couple
sorry.
things.
Commissioner
Dallas, I'm
White.
sorry. On the recreation, on the, general, you have 5,000 for sponsors, 3,000 for fundraisers.
I'm sorry, are you on the revenue or the expenses?
We're on the revenue,
Okay.
aren't we? Yeah,
Go ahead.
I think so.
All right, I'm with you.
Okay. We are having no fall. We've done away with recreation for fall. How is that gonna impact our budget? And I'm looking at this 21,700 and I'm just assuming that part of that is coming from fees that the kids pay to play.
The 21,700 includes the rec fees as well as your rents and your miscellaneous revenues, so it's not
So
all
that's
rec.
a lot.
So your total rec revenue is 8,200. So, yeah, like I said, you do have a small surplus of revenues over expenditures. One thing to consider is I wasn't able to figure out exactly how much you spend on fall sports.
Right.
So I left most of the expenses the same, so there could be a correlating decrease in revenues and a decrease in
So
expenditures.
if we want to have spring ball, it's in the budget.
Your budget is similar to the budgets you've passed in the past. So if you've had
Consider spring.
Yeah. I think at the last commission, you said to get rid of fall and leave spring
Yeah,
in to
spring.
be considered later.
Oh, I thought we were doing one of the other ones. Okay.
So
Okay, I see it.
there is a small amount of funding in your rec budget
For that consideration of
Programs.
spring, which. Anything else from the dais? Yes, ma'am, Ms. Fiore.
Karen Fiore. So your resolution states that you proposed a balanced budget. That's incorrect. So your general fund, if you adopt this, you have a transfer to your wild spaces and your water fund. That means you're adopting a general fund that is balanced. However, your enterprise funds have a deficit of $160.59. As Dennis mentioned, he has a next item that you're going to talk about your insurance. So the proper thing would have been to have that discussion, approve that, saying that you wanted to do that new insurance, then go into this budget calculation. So you're going to now adopt a budget that's in a deficit, which I'm not really sure how you can do that without showing a transfer by some means. And your resolution is stating that it's balanced, and that's incorrect, so that needs to be corrected. As well as you're adopting for 2 fees charges, customer charges to be increased. I can't imagine that you don't have a fee schedule at City of Archer. Most most cities do. And the proper thing, anything that is being adopted within your budget, anything that's in there, so your millage, your fees, has to be adopted first. So you adopted your millage rate, that's great, that needs to be done first. But now you need to adopt by resolution at least your fees and charges.
Water and fees.
And so you're missing a resolution prior to adopting this resolution to your budget.
Thank you.
Yes. Something, you have to notice customers, you can't just raise the rates, so we have to send out the notices in this
An
month's
effective date.
bills. No, we have to tell them when the hearing's gonna be, which I can't remember if it's 30 days or not. So I don't know if it's gonna make it October 13th, but it should. So that has to go out first before we can do the rate increase, unless something's changed.
No, that's correct.
Okay, that's fine. All right.
And the, usually we do that in our water. Yeah. Yes, ma'am.
I just want some clarification. So we haven't, so you have to put out a notice saying that your rates are going to be increasing prior to adopting this or after you're going to adopt it?
You have to tell them that there's gonna be a proposed rate increase for solid waste, and then you put what we are proposing, and then the date and time of the and place of the hearing. So it'll just be included with the water bills, and then for the email, people will have to email it out to them.
I guess I've always seen this done prior to this reading, so that's.
Oh, I'm not saying you're wrong by any means, I'm just saying we just didn't
That's
have
the
enough
process.
time to get all those letters out, because
Okay,
they
so-
didn't decide they were gonna raise those
I
kind
hear
of
what you're
rates, yeah.
It will be less than 30 days' notice when it goes out.
Our budget is based on what we are now.
So
Yes.
No?
you couldn't adopt.
I understand what you're saying.
Well, Mr. Lee?
Your budget is based off of a rate increase. If I can try and provide some clarity, you are required by state statute to put into your bills a notice that you intend to increase your rates with a public hearing. So I believe your next step would be Deanna will notice your residents or your water bills of the next public hearing, and then you'll have the hearing to raise your rates at that time.
Stand there for just a minute. I'm sorry.
It's your
but,
budget.
I've really got a concern where she's saying we're gonna pass an unbalanced budget. And we're saying we're passing a balanced budget in our resolution.
If the commission would like me to show a transfer or reduce the budget by $161 for the balanced budget on the water fund, I can do that.
And then you'll amend the budget for our second hearing if we pass the other agenda item, which is changing our insurance company.
Correct.
Which is
The reason I
$1,000 a
was
month savings.
unconcerned with that deficit is
Which-
because
which
you are considering this change in insurance.
Which will be a reduction of $12,000.
But we can also cut $200 out of the water fund budget and you'll have a balanced budget.
Well, I would prefer that. At least we're passing a resolution that is honest.
By
Is that
consensus?
the will of the commission?
Yes. By consensus, yes. Thank you, Mr. Lee. Yes, sir, Mr.
Yeah,
Lewandowski.
Lewandowski, where does the retirement for the former commissioner show up in the budget?
It's in Commissioner Fringe.
Is that where it's at? So that guy is rolled into that? Okay, thank you.
That's the old $100 a month
Right, yes.
of prior.
But it was one that got us in trouble. Because that's a pacing item under state law for the financial emergency that we didn't pay. So it's, even though it's a small amount, it's a big deal.
Yes, sir. He demands a paper check. Yes, sir. Anyone else?
Can I say one more thing?
Yes, ma'am. Sure, Karen. You're always welcome to come to the dais.
I just wanted to thank Dallas for all the work he put into putting this budget together. He works a full-time job doing this, I think probably for free half the time, and I appreciate him. Thanks.
But his expertise is very valuable to us. Thank you. I concur. All right, if there's nothing else, we'll go to a vote. All those in favor with the amended changes and transfer of funds to have a balanced budget, say aye.
Aye.
Aye as well. Nays, like sign. Motion carries 5-0.
Mr. Mayor, I'd like to follow up
Yes, sir.
Ms. Fiore's comment on Dallas. He will never say this, so I'm going to say it publicly to thank him as well. He's providing a public service to the city, and it's much appreciated. And as she just said, he's working a full-time job and then doing this on top of that. I know he hasn't charged the city for the past several months of his services either, just out of public service to the city. So it goes a little deeper than Ms. Fiore probably even realizes. But I wanted to say that because I know he would never say it, and I thank you.
I thank him very much,
Thank you, Dallas.
even if they do think you're Mr. Amazon.
It
It wouldn't be bad to be Mr. Amazon.
I'm just going to introduce the next item.
Okay, that closes our public hearing. Our first guest item is Assured Partners Insurance quote.
Mr. Mayor and Commission, I'd like to introduce you to Assured Partners, Eric Parker and Stacy, whose last name I forget. They're with us today. One of the things while I've been working on your budget is it occurred to me that I think FMIT, your prices are a little outside of the normal. The city of Newberry has partnered with Assured Partners for a number of years. They work as our insurance broker. They work on our behalf to advocate for the city, to find us good insurance rates and to help the city navigate insurance. So I asked if they would come and look at the city of Archer's insurance package and go out to the market to shop for insurance rates. They have come back with an insurance package that I think is beneficial to the city. It also provides you a higher level of insurance at a lower cost. I think it's about $18,000 less than your current insurance package. It is, in all honesty, it is the same insurance company that the city of Newberry does use. We have been very happy with them. We've been with them for over a decade. But I'd like to introduce Mr. Eric Parker to you as a potential broker for you and your advocate. And he can explain any questions you might have, or I'm happy to answer anything.
Thank you. Thank you, Mr. Lee. And Stacy's last name? I'm sorry?
Finn.
Finn.
Right.
All right.
And
Welcome.
I'm gonna be a resident of Archer, so.
Oh,
Yeah, so she lives right down the street.
love,
so.
love those people. Okay, thank you for being here, Mr.
Mr. Mayor and Commissioners, thank you for having us. We're pleased to be able to have this opportunity and bring some potential savings to the city of Archer while expanding coverage and also providing a 2-year rate guarantee. The city of Archer was invited into public risk management. That's the name of the entity that's providing coverage by referral. And so they did get some preferential treatment because it is a member-driven organization. So the city of Archer will have a vote. Each member has a vote in that organization, and we could have a member of public risk management come speak to you directly. We are an authorized agent for them and do business with them with other municipalities. They work with about 80 other municipalities in the state of Florida. It's not the perfect fit for everyone, but they are a direct competitor to your current provider, and we're able to provide a pretty significant savings while expanding coverage.
Absolutely.
So happy to answer any questions.
Are there any questions? Mr. Parker? Yes, Mr.
Piggyback to Eric, done a terrible job of selling himself.
That sounds familiar.
In this proposal includes Assured Partners services. They act on your behalf as an extension of your staff. They help you with your risk management, any issues you have with your insurance company. I will tell you, risk management is in my area at the city of Newberry. I don't ever speak to my insurance company. I call Eric and his team, and they, because insurance is very complicated, they understand it, and they will advocate, and they will fight for you, and they will help you get what you need. So it helps take the load off of Deanne and her team as well.
Thank you. Thank you very much.
Thanks,
Are there-
Dallas.
Are there any questions of Mr. Parker or Ms. Finn? Over 10,000.
I would add that we are a local agency. We've been in the community for since 1952. So our
Based out
office
of
is
Gainesville or?
out of Gainesville.
Out of
So,
Gainesville.
yeah, our office is on Newberry Road, next to the fitness center there.
Okay,
So we've been different names over the years and had the opportunity to work with you, Mr. Mayor, in the past
I know you, yeah.
Yeah,
I-
so-
Informatics, or,
with the foundry, right?
yeah,
In the past,
that's
right.
where I know that.
Right.
Old
So but
age
we've been a
is
proud
hell.
member of this community. We support a lot of community activities.
Yes, sir.
And we look forward to partnering with this opportunity.
Thank you. Other questions for Mr. Parker? Any questions from the audience regarding the savings in this transfer of our insurance program? Thank you, sir, very much. Look
Thank
forward
you.
to it.
Thank you.
Okay, with that said, I'll entertain a motion.
Mr. Walker, could I have a motion for that, please?
Yes. Okay. So with that presentation and the confirmation, I'll entertain a motion.
So moved.
Recommendation. I have a motion from Vice Mayor. Do I have a second?
Second.
I have a second from Commissioner Green. Any further discussion from the dais? Any conversation or questions from the constituents in the audience? Hearing none, let's go to a vote. All those in favor of contracting with Assured Partners as in our insurance with the presented quotes, say aye.
Aye.
Aye as well. Nays like sign. Hearing none, motion carries 5-0. Thank you. Welcome.
Now where's our budget?
I knew that. I knew you from somewhere. Thank you for the presentation. Next, on our guest list is the Archer Masonic Lodge Fall Festival 2025 or 2026 proposal?
2026.
2026, okay, year out.
Thank
Yes,
you,
welcome.
Mayor Hope. I appreciate you. Good evening.
Good evening.
I don't know how much you would like me to read of this, but I have put together or the Archer Masonic Lodge, number 197, has put together a fall festival plan for 2026. The fall festival plan that you have on your desks, or you should have on your desk, is well put together. My committee and I have created a full fleshed out skeleton of the festival. Obviously, as time goes on, there will be certain changes that have to be made just to go with the time. If you look, there is a table of contents in that packet, just going down from introductory letter all the way to the final letter. I will read this first letter to you, if that is okay.
Yes, sir.
Dear Mayor Hope and council members, we write to you on behalf of Archer Masonic Lodge, number 197, Free and Accepted Masons, and the Fall Festival Committee with great enthusiasm and community spirit. Our lodge is proud to be spearheading plans for the first annual Fall Festival in the city of Archer, and we respectfully seek the city's support and partnership to bring this exciting new tradition to life. This event is being fully funded by and organized by our lodge, with a deep commitment to serving and enriching the Archer community. Our vision for the Fall Festival includes family-friendly activities, local vendors, entertainment, and seasonal celebration, all designed to foster unity, highlight local talent, and create lasting memories for residents of all ages. While we are covering all expenses associated with the festival, we believe the City of Archer's involvement is vital to the event's success. In particular, we hope to partner with the city in the areas of permitting and coordination with public safety and city services, use of public spaces or facilities, promotion and outreach through city channels, and general guidance and feedback as we move forward. Enclosed in this packet, you will find an outline of our proposed event plans, including our tentative schedule, marketing strategy, location consideration, and opportunities for city engagement. We are excited about the opportunity to work together with city leadership to create something truly special for Archer. Thank you for your time, your service to our city, and your consideration for this community initiative. With sincere appreciation, Jackson W. Coward, Chairman of the Fall Festival Committee, on behalf of Archer Masonic Lodge and 197 Free and Accepted Masons and the Fall Festival Committee.
Thank you for a complete package. I don't think we've had a presentation like this in quite a while, so I'm impressed.
I appreciate that.
Are there questions of Mr. Jackson Cowart regarding this plan that's a year out?
Is that date the 12th or 17th?
It's
17th.
the 17th.
2026, of 2026, not 2025.
2026. Does it say 2025 somewhere?
No,
No, it's 2020.
Okay.
my
I just
mindset
wanna make sure.
was, that was coming up really soon, even though it says 2026 all over the whole packet.
Mayor,
Yes, ma'am.
Mr. Coward.
Yes, ma'am.
If we have questions, is there a way to get a hold of you in here?
Yes, ma'am. It should be, I believe
We
it's
got a
at,
year, so that's what I haven't been able to look at all of it.
I believe there is a way, however, if there's not, for whatever reason,
I'll catch you on
Or
Facebook.
just who is the contact person?
I am the contact person.
Okay.
I am the contact
I mean, because
person.
as we begin to market this, since we are a year out, it might be an opportunity to find sponsors and send
Absolutely.
them to you, and if you're the contact. if we're just-
Absolutely. Yes, sir. I am the contact person for this event. And this is just the first out of many community outreach events that we're planning for 2026 and moving on.
Is there a phone number or email?
There should be, but I will get a phone number for whoever wants to.
Yeah, if you could just,
Okay.
is there an email also, or do you have email contact?
I do have an email. Ms. Deanna does have an email for me.
Okay, if you could just send that out to us so that we could then post it. And maybe on the website, if we make a decision to, right now to be a sponsor, consider being a sponsor. Are there any other questions of Mr. Keller?
Were you looking for an answer tonight
You
as
know,
to what?
I would like one, so that way I can continue, or we can continue to plan this out, because every time we do get farther planning along, obviously it comes up like a brick wall.
Okay.
Now, I do want to reiterate that there is no financial burden on the city of Archer for this event.
You would consider in-kind
Correct.
volunteerism as part of the sponsorship?
Correct.
Because that was one of my questions, is did you want us to be one of the monetary, silver, gold, platinum, or whatever, or?
Correct. So I'm not even asking you guys to sponsor like that.
Okay.
I'm asking, and if you look on the front of your packet, you see the logo there. It says Archer Fall Festival. It's got the Roman numeral 1 on there for the first annual Fall Festival. Presented by Archer Masonic Lodge No. 197 in partnership with the City of Archer. I want to put the City of Archer out there. I want the community residents to see what Archer's doing. And I want us to be able to partner together. That way, Archer Masonic Lodge No. 197 and the City of Archer and itself, including the Commissioner Board, are in partnership. That way we can plan events together going forward. So that's the entire plan. I'm not asking anything financial from you. No sponsorships required. The stuff in
Well,
that first letter that I put in there,
Yeah.
that's literally all that I'm asking for.
Well, in one of the pages, you did ask for parking directional staffing or whatever from our staff, and
Right.
I just briefly
So-
approached you and said that I would be a free volunteer in one of those capacities.
And I definitely
And as we
appreciate that.
move the year forward, I'm sure I might get some of my colleagues to work with me on that.
Absolutely.
Even if we introduce, as we've done fall festivals in the past, dunking tanks for commissioners for a fundraiser for money. Good fundraiser, I'm telling you. Last time I got dunked over 150 times, so at $1 a pop or $2 a pop, made some money for the city. Froze myself to death. But
Oh, man.
that, work on the dunking, okay? The other thing that I just asked, Mr. Jackson Coward right before the meeting is not interfering with the polity of the Masonic lodges, but have they considered their
Bless you.
sister or brother Masonic lodge, the St. Philip's Lodge, since this is a year out? You know how they always, their impetus is behind the children's Christmas giveaway at the park, and he assured me that they have always tried to reach out collectively as two different Masonic lodges, and this might be that year to be able to market them and see if they would join in, because that would be pretty cool if then in turn you will help them with the Christmas community event. you know,
100%.
For next year.
100%.
So I think that would be a wonderful outreach between two lodges, because it's never, I've been here for 35 years and I've never seen that happen. And I've always asked the question, and I've never been brave enough to, I've been asked to join. St. Philip's, I was asked to join, and your Masonic Lodge, but I never wanted to breach that line and go, why don't they work together? But you said that that's certainly a viable possibility.
It is a viable
And
possibility.
I think that would be a lot of energy for this little community to see.
Absolutely.
So anyway, I just throwing that out, that we had that brief conversation since we're a year out, that would be really.
Oh, absolutely. And that'll be a communication that we will open up, and
Yeah.
we're gonna
I think those guys, I mean, they always like to plan ahead, but that would be something that'd be really neat, I think, so.
Yes, sir.
Yes, ma'am.
Well, Jackson reached out to me first. He had a idea of where he wanted to close the road.
Yes, ma'am.
And one of them was right here, straight down. At the time, I told him I didn't think we could because there was a residence there. He had forgotten. So then he wanted to know about 170th, 241, where we've always closed the road for the Yulee Day. And I told him I didn't know that's a county road. Would we have to get their permission? Mr. Attorney.
Well, in the past, we've always reached out to the county sheriff's office and disclosed the hours, exactly where the barrier would be, making sure that there were, and again, I just know this from being a resident there, and there was always a detoured route so the residents could come and go, and if it was coned off, that's what the staffing would be for, to assure those residents that live on my street, Depot Lane, certainly the resident right there would have that available.
But my question is, that's not my question. It's a county road. Do they have to get permission from the county to close it?
Like I said, we went through the sheriff's office to ensure that the county
That's why
was
I'm asking the
notified.
attorney.
It is county jurisdiction, so it'll be the county sheriff and the county.
Sheriff's office.
Yes.
That's,
Just the sheriff's office?
Well, I think you probably have to talk to the county itself as well. County
notify
Public
them of
Works.
the event.
Yeah.
And then through the support of the sheriff's office
Okay.
for that.
And,
We can probably do it.
sorry.
That's how we've done it in the past.
And I sorry to interject. We do fully plan to contact the county for that road closure. The most important thing in that moment, or in this moment, before contacting them, was
See if the city was.
speaking with you
support.
guys, because speaking to them would have been redundant.
Makes sense.
And then you guys say no. So
Then I will make a motion so we can move on.
Okay.
To partner with the Masonic Lodge
Okay,
for a fall festival, next year.
October 17th of 2026.
Second.
Okay, a second. I have a second from Vice Mayor Bailey. Any other discussion from the dais? Questions?
I was happy to see this information come to the email, because this is something that I had visited with different organizations about, doing events in the city, for the city, to be a true community event. We do have one, well, maybe a couple organizations that was being very active, and now it's kind of settled down a lot, and so we haven't had a lot of community events. And so when I saw it come across, I was really pleased, and I had my microphone on and he was still talking, but I was going to make that motion, so I was happy to second it for you.
Any other comments, questions from the dais? Yes, ma'am.
No, I'm always happy to see something, for the community that brings something positive, that would bring the people, of Archer and of the community together. So thank you all so much. And especially at this time, you're not asking for any funding from the city.
It's a year out, miracles happen.
We may have it on somebody that's coming up.
Yes, ma'am. Anyone from the constituents in the audience? Yes, ma'am. Welcome.
Thank you, Michelle Sherper with the Alachua County Sheriff's Office. I heard you made a date. I went and looked on the schedule, and the Florida Gator football schedule is not out yet for next year.
Okay.
I would ask that you tentatively set your date.
Okay.
Because if it is a home game, it really stretches the sheriff's office
Okay.
about what we could do.
Okay,
Because we are obligated to have to provide
Good point.
services to the football game.
okay. Thank you, ma'am. We'll check on that. Thank you. So would you amend your motion to be tentative based on the schedule?
Yes, I will amend my motion.
And then
I
just
amend my
note,
second.
just as soon as we get that schedule, make sure that we're gonna have the support from all the entities on the county side for that date. Okay, and you amend your second as well?
I did.
Vice?
Yep.
Thank you. Any other comments from the constituents in the audience regarding this opportunity for Archer? Hearing none, let's go to a vote. All those in favor of the annual Archer Fall Festival on its tentative sponsorship from the city of Archer for October 17th, 2026, say aye.
Aye.
Aye as well, nays like sign. Hearing none, motion carries 5-0. Thank you again, sir, Mr. Cowart, both Mr. Cowarts. Thank you for being present tonight. Okay, next on our guest list is the fee waiver request for St. Joseph Church for 9/28. Do we have someone to speak to that? Yes, ma'am, welcome.
Good evening, Mayor and all your constituents. My name is Sheila Penny, and I am here on behalf of the St. Joseph Missionary Baptist Church, where Reverend Gregory DeBose is our pastor. We are looking forward to coming to the city of Archer. We are out on County Road 346, and we're planning a praise in the park. And so we would like to invite anyone. It's a community event where we will have just a worship service in the park on a Sunday morning, being fall, an opportunity to meet and greet. Anyone that is welcome to come. It's free. There is, just come as you are, casual, and just an opportunity to fellowship in the park. And so therefore, anyone is welcome. You don't have to dress up, just come as you are. And so that's an opportunity for us. We have a new pastor who wants to come out and fellowship in the city of Archer and get an opportunity to see how Archer is ran and meet some of the ministers as well.
Okay.
And so we're here to ask for the fee to be waived.
Okay. And what is the time of that event?
It will be at 11 a.m. that Sunday morning.
Okay,
And we will only be there for a couple of hours, and we will be having like a light lunch, hamburgers and hot dogs, so we'll have
For fellowship.
refreshments as well,
just for fellowship.
just
Okay.
a fellowship.
Okay. Any other questions of Ms. Penny regarding this opportunity and the fee waiver request?
I'm looking at the application, and it's showing that you've paid $100 deposit.
Incorrect. We did initially until they found out that our plans were, and so that check was voided, so it should have been reflected on the
I'm
application.
glad I asked that. Okay.
Okay. And on that application, is there any request other than the restrooms being open
No.
and available?
Correct.
Just the restrooms?
Yes.
Okay. No tables, chairs, anything like
No,
that?
we will provide
I'll
that.
provide all that. Okay.
So I will make the motion that we waive the fee for St. Joseph's.
Okay.
And again, I love it when we have community events for everybody to come
For
together.
fellowship. That's good. Okay, do I have a second?
I'll second.
All right, and a second from Commissioner Green. Any other questions from the dais?
I just want to know, do I get to vote? Because this is my church, so.
Do you have any personal
The Lord is
enrollment
right
other
by
than Christian fellowship?
That's exactly the criteria,
I
so
think that's
it doesn't,
makes
it
it-
doesn't inure to your personal benefit, so you can vote.
Oh, okay. I just wanted.
You're good. Okay. All right.
How much money you
Thank you
save?
for that clarification, Commissioner Penny. Anyone from the constituents in the audience with any questions or comments regarding this opportunity? Hearing none, all those in favor of the fee waiver request for the Praise in the Park on Sunday,
September 28th.
28th.
September 28th.
Say aye.
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 Aye as well. Nays, like sign. Hearing none, motion carries 5-0. Thank you for being here.
Thank
Thank you for
you.
the opportunity. Okay, next is the trunk or treat on our guest list, Halloween, for Wilson Robinson Park waiver fee. Do I have any representative from the library?
No, she couldn't be here tonight. She asked me, did she talk to you? No. Okay. She asked me to reach out and,
Could you get closer to your mic? I'm sorry, I can't hear you. I don't know.
she asked me to reach out to the commission and, she asked me if I was gonna do trunk or treat this year, and I told her no. There were two ladies that had expressed an interest in doing them last year, but they backed out. They're not doing them. She would like to do the trunk or treat. And, she's also, asking to use the pavilion, use Wilson Robinson Park on Friday, October the 31st, and waive the fee.
Did she have anything in an application or whatever requesting anything from the city
No,
that you know of?
no, all she had, this is the application. I'll let y'all look at it, but all she wants is the park. And the bathroom.
And is she gonna get any support from the sheriff's office? Because we've had the Grinch out there and things like that from the sheriff's office.
I don't know. I mean, that's what I told her. I said,
I mean, you're in communication
it's a
with
little
her?
late, but we'll see what we can do. I mean, I'll help
Yeah.
with the trunk, but
Certainly, if you're in touch with her, reach out to her and let her know about the sheriff's office, because normally if it wasn't a game or whatever, they participate, they like participating.
yeah. That's what I said. I mean, I'll reach out to people too, but, she just wants to open trunks up so the kids will have someplace to.
Did she have a time on that, just so we know?
I think she does.
We're sorry.
Here it is, you got it. Here it is.
6 to 8? 6 to 8 p.m. on actual Halloween.
Mhm.
Okay, do I entertain a fee waiver for Wilson Robinson Park for Halloween night for trunk or treats, sponsored by the library?
Go ahead.
So moved.
I have a motion
I'll
from-
second it. But I
motion
also,
from Vice Mayor, I have a second from Commissioner White. Any other discussion of the dais?
yes, just one thing, because we've waived 3 fees here tonight, and I thought it's only been a couple of months ago, we made a motion that we would not be waiving fees.
Limit that.
That we would ask for a,
At least the electrical
20
or utilities.
yeah, something like that. So that's, I'm just wanting to make sure we're doing what we want to do, we need to do.
For both
So-
these events, it sounds like there's been no cost outlay.
Correct.
Or
Well,
support
those-
Only
for
for,
those two,
only for the electricity in the bathrooms.
of which we have
For
to.
trunk or treat? Because it's
I
at
will
night?
clean the bathrooms and get them ready for trunk or treat. I mean, I don't have a problem with that, but it'd be the lights that we have, and, the rest of them, I don't know. I don't mind cleaning the
Will
bathroom
the time
after the.
change then? I thought time didn't change until November.
I don't know.
I don't know either,
it'd be
but if
daylight,
we,
6 to
at
8.
any rate,
Well, we could look and see. Hold on.
it's not that big a deal. We've already waived them, so,
I don't think there's gonna be any cost, and if, I certainly can avail myself, I'll assist you with
What's the fee for the light?
I
Yeah,
think we should
time change November 2nd.
November 2nd, so we're still in summertime, so.
work, so we're good. I mean,
No cost outlay to the city.
so my second stands.
Okay.
Can I get that application so I can give it
Yes,
to
ma'am.
Tangi and Deanna, or whomever?
Any other discussion or comments from the dais regarding this community event at no cost to the city?
Well, at least they're trying to, we have people that are yet trying to carry on activities for the community with no cost to us. And I appreciate that, so I'm 100% with it.
Okay.
So everybody get your trunk ready.
Any comments from the constituency or questions regarding this community event for Halloween, sponsored by the library? Hearing none, let's go to a vote. All those in favor, say aye.
Aye.
Aye as well. Nays, like sign. Motion carries 4-0. And I'm sure Vice Mayor would be a yay, but, because she made the motion, but we'll consider that. Okay. Next is public announcements. Do we have any from anyone at the dais or anyone? Yes, sir, Mr. Lewandowski. Public announcements.
I just want to remind the commission that on November 8th, the American Hometown Veterans Assist will be having a motorcycle rally. We'll be starting from Bronson's, actually addressed Archer, but from the Bronson AMVETS on Post 88.
Thank you, Mr. Barker.
Yeah.
Thank
So
you,
we'll
ma'am.
be leaving from there and simultaneously from Tallahassee. I'm projecting upwards over 100 motorcycles, and we'll be going from here to Live Oak to the Suwannee County Fairgrounds to raise money for veterans. And just to give you an example of what we're doing, this week we've paid out over $3,000 to a young lady with 3 kids whose rent was due, an elderly gentleman who had prostate cancer who we paid for his GRU bill, those types of things. So that's the type of work that we do. Thank you.
And that, if I understand
Through
the,
Arch? I'm sorry.
So I don't know yet. We're waiting for the final approval from the sheriff's office. So we will either go through Archer, Newberry, High Springs up to Live Oak, or we're going to go make a left-hand turn out of the AMVETS and go through Trenton that way and up. So I'm just waiting for the final approval on what the route's going to be.
yeah, it'd
And
be
that's
nice to know
November
that.
November 8th, and we'll be kickstands up at 9 a.m. So if we actually go through Archer, which I don't know yet, we'll probably be here like 9:20 or something.
That'd be cool to know though, because we could certainly post
Yeah,
it on the website.
I should know, I will know for sure by the next meeting.
Good, we'll put it on the website if it is coming through Archer, so
Yeah.
people will know.
Yeah.
And you said the other group is coming from Tallahassee?
From Tallahassee, they're leaving
To
from
meet.
we're going to meet at Live Oak, and it's going to be leaving from the Harley-Davidson dealership in Tallahassee.
Tallahassee, okay. Cool,
Okay,
thank you,
thank
Mr.
you. Okay.
Lewandowski. Anyone else? Yes, sir, Mr. Lee.
Hello. I would like to invite the Archer community to Newberry's Fabulous 50s Festival and Car Show. It is next Saturday, the 20th, from 4 p.m. to 7 p.m. in our downtown. We will have a car show of antique cars. If anybody would like to bring one, you can just show up and register on site. We'll have 50s era live music, local vendors and crafts, as well as food, and people in 50s dress. So again, that is next Saturday from 4 to 7 in Newberry, and we would invite you all to attend.
Where is it in Newberry? At the-
It's right along the railroad on our Festival Street. If you go to downtown Newberry, you won't
You'll
miss it.
find out where the activity is,
Yeah,
okay.
it's right past the railroad, you'll see it.
Okay.
And it's on our Facebook.
And thank you also for the October 1st. I don't know if you all got that information for the planning.
Oh, for
Session
the,
on
yes,
October
we're
1st.
hosting a planning and
Yeah,
zoning
you have to
training.
register for it, but that, for planning and, you know,
Yep.
the counseling on how to do that. I think there's a fee of $70 or
Yes,
whatever.
but it includes breakfast and lunch. It's a
Yeah.
full day of training on all
It's
things
all
planning.
day, so
Yep.
sounds like.
Usually it's only hosted at the APA conference.
Yeah.
And they're bringing it to Alachua
Sounds
County.
like a good program, so I've registered, just representing Archer, so, thank you.
It is October the 1st.
That's October 1st, yeah, at the City Hall and then Annex, right? Municipal Building. I think that's a Wednesday, October 1st.
Oh,
Oh, sorry.
cancel that one.
Sorry. Anyone else? Announcements? Okay. Next is our first comment period. Anyone come forward, please? Yes, ma'am, Ms. Fiore. Welcome.
Thanks, Karen Fiore. I just wanted to recognize and thank Commissioner Penny for her work with the Alachua County opioid task force. There was an article that she was a part of in the Main Street Daily News today, and I just want to say thank you for representing Archer and for the work you do on that. Thanks.
Thank you, Ms. Fiore.
Yeah.
It is really a problem that's.
Keep up the good
work.
work.
Thank
We,
you for your work.
Alachua County is still in the top
Top
10 for
10.
the state of Florida
Florida. Yep.
for opioid crisis.
Yes, sir, Mr. Arnold, welcome.
Hello. First of all, I'd like to recognize again the part-time employee of the month for Archer, Mr. Dallas Lee, who has not charged, fantastic, and then has saved $17,000 on an insurance premium. So, victory lap, my man. Well done. Commissioner or Mayor, I appreciate the words for Charlie Kirk and his family today. Would have liked for you to dive into 9/11 for a minute. That is tomorrow. That's a big deal as well. We've got a new face over here. I don't know if you're going to introduce him, or we're just supposed to know who he is, or why he's
Yeah,
here.
everybody knows him.
Did we let the other two ladies go or something? Maybe you can touch on that. That would be wonderful. I'm sure it's going to get very interesting later on. We'll just get into it here in a second, but I know, Commissioner Penny, you had put together a kind of a health fair. I guess that's what that was, and had and I had a chance to talk to you. I know you care deeply about Archer. Commissioner Green, wasn't too long ago, I had a chance to chat with you at the National Day of Prayer that you held. It's fantastic.
Thank you.
I know you care about Archer.
Oh, yes.
Mayor Hope, I've gone to a couple of the League of Cities meetings. I've seen how you've represented Archer. You've done a very good job. Commissioner Bailey, when I first started coming to some of these meetings, you were then the mayor, and you hosted some community events, which kind of introduced me to all things Archer, and I appreciate it. Commissioner White, you have been an advocate for our youth sports and fighting, and I appreciate that. Deanna, I feel terrible for you. I know how much you care about Archer. You live here, you have family here, and to have had your right hand betray you has got to be terrible. And I'm very sorry for you. With that said, I appreciate you turning that individual in. And I hope that there is justice, and I hope that somehow the city recoups its money and it dives in. And with that said, I hope, and I guess it's inevitable, that you get some help. I've been talking about that for a long time, to hire someone, get some help, get another pair of eyeballs to watch over and be a good steward, to give everyone transparency. I know this is cliche, but I just wanted to express, because I think some people are going to take some shots at you today, probably. But just know that I'm sorry.
Thank you very much.
Thank you, Mr. Arnold.
And anyone else? Welcome, sir.
Good morning. Kind of a terrible transition for me to come up next. My name is Jonathan Ramsey. I'm one of your Alachua County judges here in Alachua County. I'm a county civil judge, although we are currently downy judge and criminal right now, so I'm doing a lot of criminal work as well. I think we have a lot of angst these days toward all branches of government, and the judiciary is certainly not immune to that. And I think Mr. Walker could tell you that's a little unusual in the Eighth Circuit. One thing we pride ourselves in the Eighth Circuit, including Alachua County, is the cordiality and the professionalism of the judiciary and all of our lawyers. And so I'm here today for two reasons. I want to keep that up. I want to make sure we continue to be cordial, respectful, and professional. And part of that is getting to know you guys, right? People don't like to talk to the judiciary. Maybe they're scared we'll hold you in contempt, I don't know. But people don't like to tell us what we're doing wrong, and don't like to have don't really interact with us. And we certainly have blind spots. And so I'd love to hear from you guys. I was at Micanopy last night and I had a good conversation with the lady who was talking to me just about the eviction process overall. So I want to make sure that you guys feel that you can come up to us, speak to us, let us know what your concerns are. Obviously, our job is not to create the law, but we can at least kind of explain what the process is and see where some of our blind spots may be. In addition to getting to know everybody else, I want you guys to get to know me. I came in around May of last year, so I've only been doing it a little bit less than a year and a half. Being a judge is an elected official, and I am up for election in about 11 months. So still probably a little too early to be campaigning, but I want you guys to get to know me as well. Get to know me as a father, get to know me as a husband, get to know me as a disgruntled Florida Gator football fan, but also just get to know me as a judge and who I am, because a lot of the metrics for the judiciary probably go over people's heads. You know, we probably don't really understand what it is, but I want to give you guys a chance to get to know me, so that when you go into that ballot box and you see two names that we generally have no idea who either one of them are, just to give you a chance to get to know me. So I'm happy to stick around afterwards. I'll be here throughout the whole meeting. I'll stay afterwards just to get a chance for you to talk to me and me to talk to you.
Thank you very much for being here and offering your presence. Anyone else?
Oh, and when they finish,
Yes, ma'am.
could Scott Walker introduce himself to those
I'll
that
introduce him. I'll
don't
introduce
know it?
Mr. Walker. Yes, sir. Mr. Lewandowski, go ahead.
Yeah, so I'm going to address something that Mr. Arnold brought up, and of course, that is the thing with Justin. So, you know, it's terrible when an employee does something like that. Unfortunately, there has been a number of issues over almost a year now since the former city manager and the former bookkeeper, I guess you'd call her, and you guys still haven't taken any action against it. So even though at I think it was a January City Commission meeting when the accountant stood up here and started mentioning fraud, as I recall his comments, still nothing's been done. I'm assuming that when we hear the next audit report, it's going to be bad news too. So, you know, there's obviously systemic issues. I can go on and on. I mean, a couple of months ago, we were talking about fuel issues. And we had like an hour-long discussion on how we should lock up the fuel thing. A couple of years ago, we had issues with the equine center. Stuff was missing. So obviously, there are some systemic issues that need to be addressed. And, you know, when the citizens have come up here, it's turned into a shouting fest. Well, the citizens that come up and make a comment, bad citizens. You guys should never have said anything. So we need to sort of work together to fix this problem, because if we don't fix it, somebody's going to fix it for us, without a doubt. Thank you.
Thank you, Mr. Lewandowski. Anyone else? Okay, with that, I will introduce our senior principal with our legal services, Mr. Scott Walker. How many years have you been with Foles and Walker, sir?
I've been working there since 1980.
1980.
Yes.
So we certainly have the senior principal with us this evening. And you'll be representing Archer
I am.
on and off with?
Oh, yeah. Yeah, Tom Robinson is going to be assisting me, and he had surgery yesterday morning, I believe it was. And so he could not be here this evening. He's watching it on YouTube, and so he's with us on the video. And
Is he new to the association? or
he's been with us for, I think, about 8 months now, something like that.
Relatively new. Yeah.
Relatively new. I've known Tom for all of the 21 years he's been in practice. And truth be said, his older son and my oldest son are best buddies,
Really?
best friends. So I've known him a long time. He's a litigator. He's a very capable attorney. And we're very proud and very happy to have Tom with us right now. So, and just internally, Danielle and Kirsten are very valued members of our group as well, and they didn't go away. We've reassigned them. We had a lot of the duties reassigned, so they're terrific. They may be popping in here and there, and we talked several times today about Archer issues, so they don't go away. They're still a part and parcel of what it is that we do, and you know, we obviously we've got some challenges, and we thought I'm going to take a very, very keen interest in getting us over these challenges.
Okay.
You know,
Well,
we're going to do it, and we will get there. And Tom's right on board with that as well. So
Okay.
that's our game plan.
Well, thank you.
And you will take a really keen interest in pursuing
That's an
the
old business
former-
item that I'm going to add that
the
we don't
former
talk off the list
employees.
tonight. Yeah,
I wrote a note to it just now.
Thank you.
because example, tonight we have old business, none, but that's not true. We have items that we've discussed, and just not taking anything away from you, Deanna, but even if we don't act on them, they're old business, and it could be none by that item if there's nothing up to update, but certainly old business items like the potential litigation opportunities for our former employees and what we're trying to recover financially, so, as well as current. Thank you for waiting for your introduction to this time of the night. Anyone else? Hearing none, let's move on. The planning calendar? Thank you, Lee.
Yes, Mayor Hope. So we have a special city commission meeting on Wednesday, September 25th at 6 PM here at City Hall.
24?
Oh, sorry, 24, sorry. Going so fast.
And it's Wednesday again because of the conflicts with the county and.
Okay.
And to ensure you guys
Public
wanted
library.
Dallas to be
Okay.
present, yes.
That's the only reason why it's on
Yes.
Wednesday, folks.
Just to add a little snippet to that, the ad has to go in Gainesville Sun because of you guys changing the date, which is fine. I'm just letting you know it's gonna be a little bit more than normal for the
Okay.
trim ads, okay? So that'll be the final millage ad valorem and budget will be on the agenda. And then there's a city commission meeting on Monday, October 13th at 6 PM here at City Hall.
All right. And next, old business, again, I just kind of introduced what I was going to speak to. Even though it says none, if we can note for self for the meetings, if it's by consensus, we should keep under old business, even if there's no update, but just to provide for an update opportunity. Status of surplus properties. To give you that opportunity, Indiana, if there's nothing to report, no report on that is, appropriate for me, but it's just so that our citizenry knows that these are old business items that we're not dropping off and not doing anything about. It's just old projects that we don't have any current update from month to month. The other item is surplus equipment and updates to decisions or actions on any of those major equipment items that we might be going to .gov with or, getting bids for. And then also, under old business is, and I will get with you on this because we'll have to get with North Central Florida Regional Planning Council, but the second workshop for that opportunity for further, opportunity for the processes involved in comp plan amendments and LDRs. And specific to that is what I will share in my report tonight about an SB 180 that was approved in the legislation that concerns me a lot about home rule. And I'll just share briefly with that in my report tonight, but why I think that's very important to network with Scott Coons and get him in here to speak specifically to how we may be hamstringed a little bit based on disasters that may occur, i.e. hurricanes, weather disasters, those kind of things, and how it can affect our ability to make amendments to our comp plan as a municipality, not just Archer, but all municipalities. And it's already occurring because of disasters that occurred in 23 and 24, hurricanes. The Department of Commerce is actually usurping and making decisions about comp plan amendments. And that usually doesn't happen, but they have some authority now and the ability to deny some comp planning amendments. It kind of puts hamstrings on recommendations that may just normally come. But I'll speak more of that in my report. But if we could, and then the fourth item, just for old business, is just our largest asset I think we have besides this facility is our Archer Community Center, and just things that are happening with that facility and how we operate. And anything that you may introduce is standard operating procedures that may change, may not. We've had everything from volunteering, thank you, Commissioner White, and, overseeing and cleaning that on the weekends now with the new staffs.
No, that wasn't me, that was Commissioner.
You and your sister did it for a few weeks, remember?
Community Center.
Oh, you did here.
They did here. But, the unique things that we're doing to make things happen in our financial recovery and stabilization, but I just think we need to keep that. That's our most valuable asset in the community, other than our parks. Not that they're not just as important, but that building, and just any updates that may be occurring. And especially with our conversations, Ms. Lopez, and, specific, your concerns about how the dual purpose of that building, where are we going with USDA? We just need to keep that as old business and updates on that as we go forward with that. If there's nothing to report that meeting, then there's nothing to report, but we need to keep that as a live old business item. That's all I have for old business, if that's acceptable to you, Ms. Halto.
Of course, of course. Did you want me to go ahead? I have the surplus equipment
a decision that was been made. Yeah, I didn't mean to put you on the spot
Oh,
to
no, I
answer
was
any of that
ready.
tonight, but
Yes,
yeah, that's
yes.
a
So the-
success story,
so
I think.
The
So
greater, let me get it.
we have an update on the surplus equipment, yep,
Yes.
tonight? Okay.
Yes, yes. So the greater, I did get 3 commissioners to approve it by email, so, or phone or text, so that way I can move it forward.
Can you pull the speaker a little bit closer to you? I'm sorry.
Yes, so the grader went for $18,800. And the dump truck went for $3,050. And there's other equipment we have to get up there. I was trying to get the largest assets on there. So the $3,050 is, I believe, payable by check. The $18,800 will be wire transfer. So hopefully in the next 2 weeks, those funds will be in
That'll
our
be
bank account. So that'll be the $21,850.
That we didn't have before now as an opportunity
Correct.
with revenue.
Which I know we took a huge loss in the grader, but,
Okay.
you know, I understand that.
Better than sitting out there.
Right.
Rather have the money sitting in the bank. Thank you.
Right, and then the surplus property, are you talking about the church the one behind the
Well, that's just
church, or in
ongoing.
general?
That's ongoing.
Okay.
And any updates from Kimley Horn regarding lift station cutout, and if there's a cost associated with that, just to keep us in the loop on that, because that's kind of what's stagnating that opportunity to post that, or, you know, let the church pass on it and someone else be interested in it and move forward with revenue support. I know, again, I'm sorry, I'm belaboring this, but just an update with the actual CSX/Hope parcel. I have all the original county surveys that were done with each cutout from each parcel. Don't care about the others. I'm speaking for my wife, and I shouldn't be doing that. I recuse myself, but just for information. That cutout for each one of those abutting property owners has been signed by them, dated, and I have those actual property surveys to present. And then it would be just approaching, since we've determined that it's the buyer's responsibility for the surveying, for any adjustment to the survey. That buyer, i.e. on the Hope side, would actually get the cutout, present, and then she would be here to present to you first, and then for it to be an agenda item for the, recusing myself, but for the dais to consider with the appraisal that has been determined, or whatever, per square foot, and be able to settle that, but and also a revenue and injection into the city coffers. And I understand Mr. Arnold, don't want to speak for the Arnold Construction Company, but they have also surveyed appropriately, and so that action will be coming forward, you know, for whatever that determination. I don't know, Mr. Walker, is that appraisal been done for all the CSX property, or is it just by parcel by parcel?
I'll have to check to see if it's been done on all the properties.
And I certainly can provide you that original county survey document, and who did it from the county, and all that work that the county did when they said, here, city, we give it to you, we don't want to deal with it. But it's the original surveys that were done in 2017 or whatever, that got down to how many square foot each parcel owner was going to get, or those blocks. So it's very valuable. I know Danielle and Kirsten both said they weren't sure who is the associate that's no longer in your office, Clay Martin. They weren't sure if he still had it or whatever, but I got it. And I guess it was because the only reason I have them is because I had those originals, and my brother-in-law is Bruce Delaney, and he gave them to me and said, if you get those 3, I'll go get Mr. Kirkland, because when I was representing the company, he and I had some conflicts or whatever, and it just wasn't ethical for me to go with that. But I do have all that in my archives, and I'll be glad to pass it on then to legal once that survey cutout is done, so then you all could do the memorandum of understanding or whatever is necessary for them to come to the dais, and then I can back up on that. But again, the advantage is another injection of revenue for surplus property. Okay, sorry to belabor all that. That's why it should be old business, because it's going to have opportunities of step processes that'll get us closer to revenue injections. So.
And to old business,
Yes, ma'am.
then who was it? One of the citizens came up and was talking about the things that Dallas had given us to improve us, that list. I thought we had done them all, But can we get those back here and see what we haven't done, and do we need, because there was.
And that would help with Mr. Tufano's concern tonight. Again, just supporting your impetus tonight.
I thought we did them all, but that's what I want to know.
But we
what
could
we
review
haven't
those
done
and
and
add
what
to
we haven't.
those and other, what are you giving back to the citizenry in savings, or what's the citizens gonna get back for any of this increase?
We didn't, you guys didn't, you delayed the collection, yes, and we delayed the fraud thing.
Okay,
It wasn't called fraud, I forgot the exact name, I think that is for complaints or
okay.
that kind of stuff. That's the only two I'm
That's what I wanna-
remembering, but I
yeah.
could be incorrect in
I'll
that
get a-
statement.
If you can email us that copy of that, and then we can look at it.
And again, it's sort of like the things to do that's, it's old business, but it's things to do that that are ongoing, that we have a tendency, and I'm talking as the person that's been here a long time, but we have a tendency to do that, especially if we've changed the guard or the dais. All due respect to the newer staff that come on as part of the dais, they don't know what things that we're still working on. So this is an opportunity, even if that's just a blank list, but it's the things we're working on. And if citizenry wants to complain because we're not acting fast enough on it, or what are you doing about that? You know, if there's a need to prioritize that, we can certainly go to our to-do list and see if we can move up with some things and see what's happening. It would help me a lot. And also explaining to citizenry that might be new citizens that come as part of the constituency, see the things that we're working on in our recovery. Be good. Thank you. Okay, next is new business, agenda item 1, resolution number 2025-27, designating the city manager as the administrative authority to receive, review, and process final plat and replat submittals.
Mr. Mayor, this is Resolution 2025-27, a resolution of the City Commission of Archer, Florida, designating the city manager as the administrative authority to receive, review, and process final plat and replat submittals, designating the city manager as the responsible administrative manager and official for approving with conditions or denying the proposed final plat or replat. The appropriate motion is to pass resolution number 2025-27 as read by title only.
Okay, well, I'll entertain a motion for discussion.
Well, I'd love to give you one, but I don't know what it's for.
This basically is a pro forma process. Whenever somebody submits a plat to you, they've already gone through comprehensive plan change, rezoning. It's now defining what's going to be the development on that property, like where the lots are going to be, that sort of thing. Many cities are moving towards the administrative process of approval of plats for that reason. So that's what this is.
I'm assuming this is probably
Does this usurp planning and zoning if you have that entity? Does it?
It does not.
Would go to planning and zoning, or go to her and then to planning and zoning?
It would go to
review?
Deanna. So you've already gone through comp plan change, you've already gone through zoning, and
So
now
it's already
this
been
is.
presented to our
It's
planning
already
and
been
zoning
correct,
as an advisory group,
right,
and then it would go to her for the authority.
right.
Once the planning and
Right.
zoning gives their recommendation. And it doesn't come to us as the
It
commission.
doesn't
for
come to
final.
you, your final plat approval, she's giving you that.
I will make a motion to approve, to accept the resolution.
Second.
Any other discussion from the dais?
Well, it just seems to help the builder out some and us, because it takes one step out of the process, and it's not a lengthy, right?
Yes, this is pretty much pro forma. In other words, if it came before you for approval, as long as it meets the requisites of your land development regulations, you don't really have discretion to deny it. So it's just kind of moving a situation along and giving Deanna or our city manager the authority to approve it.
And once it's reviewed by, if you have the planning and zoning, it doesn't take them out of the picture. They have their recommendation to give to us as the commission. And then,
I'm sorry?
I thought it was taking us out of the.
But the planning and zoning would still review it as a recommendation, and then that's what we give, is what would trigger the authority going to her,
It's really,
or that person, the
the
administrator.
planning and zoning is not going to give a recommendation. It's just, they will see what is happening with that property in the rezoning process.
And the review of all the LDRs.
Right.
And the comp plan
Right.
review from North Central Florida Planning would have already been completed, and they would
Correct.
have that.
Right,
I mean, I'm sorry to walk through that process, but.
right, right.
And then would you report that to this body before she acted?
She certainly can, but she doesn't have to do that.
Could we amend the motion just, I would like to know.
Well, I would like to know more about it before I vote on it, because I'm hearing we're taking our planning zoning out of it. Well, they're gonna get to see it, but they're not gonna make any
Recommendation? that has any
recommendations
muscle?
or, yeah. And, so what do we need a planning and
Do
zoning
other
board for?
municipalities, are they going that direction, Mr. Walker? Is that why this is being presented?
What we could do is give you an analysis of Chapter 177, which has been amended, and kind of give you the step-by-step process of what you're going to be, what Deanna would be looking at if somebody comes forward with a plat. And I think that would help you
If
in
we
the
clear,
passage.
if we could, if you would consider just tabling this until the next meeting to get more information.
That's
And then
fine.
we get clarified. Not to take any authority away from you, Deanna, but you need to have our support, and that's why I'm saying you at least need to tell us so that. Okay, yeah, if that would be helpful, Ms. Walker, if we could just, if you would amend your motion in a second to table that to get the
Can
additional
I just
information.
withdraw my motion? And,
Yes.
okay, and I will make a motion to table it.
Until we get the additional information.
Good.
You
And
will-
I will
Rescind
second
your
that one.
second.
Yeah, rescind and
All right,
and
done.
second.
Old business, add it to the list. Okay, thank you, Mr. Walker, that helps educate us appropriately and gives the citizens the opportunity to see it as well. Second item is discussion on SDP 24-00, Arnold Ready Mix Ronnie LLC concrete batch plant.
Mr. Mayor, I saw this on the agenda, and of course I reviewed it. I was not here for the original permitting process for that, but as I see in the letter from the North Central Florida Regional Planning Council, the issue perhaps was whether or not this is an item as provided by right. So our LDRs and the letter from the North Central Florida Regional Planning Council says that according to the table of permitted uses in section 16.06 of the Land Development Code, manufacturing, assembling, compounding, processing, treatment of items for mass production items are conducted in a fully enclosed building are a use permitted by right in the industrial zoning district. So what that means is that, again, there's no discretion that our administrator has if somebody comes before her on a use by right. Maybe the best example I could give you is in a residential zoning district, somebody comes before you on a lot that meets all the requisites of your code and wants to build a house there, it's a use by right. You don't have the ability to deny them.
Doesn't meet the, yeah.
You have to proceed with the building permit. To the extent, I hope that clarifies what occurred here is that this is a fully enclosed use, as I understand it, concrete batch plant, and there's no discretion. She has to permit it. That's just the bottom line. And to do otherwise, it would be simply holding up the permitting process, subject us to assessment of attorney's fees for improperly holding a building permit hostage when it is a use by right, and there would be an action that would be filed for mandamus, which would be something that she would have to issue the building permit. So it's.
And the city of Archer is not going to issue the building permit, it'll be through the county. Correct?
In this instance, it would be the city. The city is issuing the building permit for,
But it's a.
oh, we
it's a building.
contract with the, I see your question, yeah, yeah.
It would be the county
Right.
to issue
Right.
that building permit to meet all the requirements of the county. And-
Right.
And i.e., the only, I mean, when we get to that point of just asking questions, I don't know, Mr. Arnold, if you're the representative that could speak to that, or Mr. Kamir is here. I just, to review this, I had two questions, so I don't know. Are you representing the engineering services, or?
I don't know what questions need to be, I mean,
Okay, the only one that's not,
everything's there, it's enough.
the only stipulation I don't see here is the ingress and egress. The last Gamir Engineering Services report said it was gonna be on 170th. And so if it's moved to State Road 24, then it does involve outside of Archer, because that's a state road. That's the DOT District 2 and the county and all of those parameters. But I just didn't know, there's no discussion of that as far as ingress and egress for this opportunity for this business. If it's going to be on State Road 24, if it's going to be on Southwest 170. Question one. And then number two was just the berm application for Southwest 170th Street, which is the east side of the parcel. There's no discussion of that for decibel level abatement or whatever. And that was, at one point there was, the last presentation, and I'm talking about when it was at Archer Community Center, there was consideration for that, and I just don't see that in the presentation that was given to us, unless it's in a link that I couldn't open because I didn't have, what is it, Deanna, when I came to the Dropbox with, you know, megabytes of Dropbox links that I couldn't get to. So I asked Deanna in her spare time if she could produce one copy of all those links, because they're multiple pages, you know, so that I could reference that. Just as a takeaway, that's my two questions. I just,
Are you gonna take public comments on this?
sir?
You gonna take public-
Absolutely. Absolutely. When we get to that point, Mr. Lewandowski. Yes, sir.
But, Scott, sorry, we had a motion and a second, and we did not vote. Do we need to vote to
It's
table
on the
that?
tabling. This is the
The
item
previous
before,
thing, we
and
never did vote, he went on.
I'm trying to move forward. It's before 8 o'clock, so we'll need to act on that.
Yes, please, please.
So based on that, I'm sorry, let me just divert just a second. On the past motion to table, we had a motion and a second. No further discussion so that we can get additional information. If I don't hear anything and nothing from the constituency in the audience regarding that tabling to get additional information, if I don't hear any, then we'll go to a vote. All those in favor of tabling this to get the additional information on the authoritative resolution of the administrator being the final voice
You
in
didn't ask
those
for public
plats.
comments on it, by the way.
What's that?
You did not ask for public comments on it.
Are there public comments on that?
Yes.
That's what I just asked. Are there any constituent comments or questions regarding that process and table it until we get additional information?
So just a couple of things to consider on this one as everybody's doing the research. So thing number one of the things that should be allowed is that the public should be able to review the application. It's public documents, we should be able to review it, provide comments. Understanding it's, you know, we're talking about by rights, we're not talking about a conditional use permit or something, so that's, but when there is a site plan, the public should be able to review it, the public should be able to provide comments. The second thing is that if there are issues, that the public has issues that cannot be resolved by the city manager under this change, then it should go to the commission for a decision. So what you're doing now is if you're leaving everything within the hands of the city manager, and if nobody has any problems with it, fine. But if there is an issue where somebody
Needs
thinks,
to
well,
citizen
maybe
rep.
something hasn't been done correctly, then it should come back to you for review. And I don't think that violates the spirit of the law. The last thing is I think there should be a requirement for the city manager to seek professional advice. The city managers, at least all the ones since I've been here, are not engineers. So the city managers are not qualified to be able to look at a site plan and say yes. They're not qualified to look at a detailed engineering traffic report, for example, on and on. So there should be a requirement for the city manager to be able to seek professional advice if they're not qualified in that area to be able to approve aspects of the site plan. So I just think these are reasonable things to keep everything straight and to avoid issues.
Thank you.
All right, thank you.
That's why it went to North Central Florida Planning Council. They're the ones that review everything and give the approval.
So they
I
give
don't
recommendation for approval. They're not an authority element at all.
Well, I mean, they're matching the plans to our comp and LDR plans.
And tell you whether any element is not
Correct.
conducive or
Well, they're matching it to the plans, but for example, they're not looking to, they're not qualified to be able to take a look at noise reduction or the environmental stuff to say, okay, the engineer did this right. I mean, as far as I know, they're not providing those engineering services, and generally speaking, you'd have a city engineer to do that. And in the past, if we don't have a city engineer, so you've gone out and you've hired one temporarily. So, I mean, that's really what I'm asking for, is that if it comes to you, and there are certain things that you're required to do for site plans. Now, if it's something, for example, and I'm going to differ with Mr. Walker on this, I'm sorry. If you have an application, let's look at the case in point. You have an application for a concrete batch plant. If the concrete batch plant is going to stay in the existing building, then my understanding is that's completely by rights and there's no site plan required. However, if there's major changes that have to be done to that building, if things have to be done outside the building, it requires a site plan. Okay, and then that site plan has certain things. And so really all I'm saying is that we're required, a city manager, maybe you, may not be you, to be able to reach out for professional support. And if that requirement's in there, it requires to be budgeted, because really we're talking about money. So I'm just asking us to cross the T's and dot the I's so that we do things correctly. I'm not trying to make the process any harder, but usually the city manager is not qualified to review those types of engineering documents to say, yeah, this is good. You can look at the regulation and say, yeah, it meets the regulation, but you can't do this qualitative analysis.
Yeah. No, I understand
Yeah.
that. It's just, where are we supposed to, like, how am I supposed to know who I need to go to? And like you said, there's a cost involved when you reach out to all these separate, like, that's never been done. That since I've been here, I don't know if you're trying to say that's something new we need to do.
Oh,
But,
okay, well, if so,
I mean,
yeah, so if you go back and look at the land use development ordinance, it outlines certain things that are required for a site plan, for example. And, you know, noise, environmental discharges, air, water. Stormwater, those types of things have to be done, right.
That's done with the other agencies.
Yeah, some are done, yeah, some are done with the other agencies and some aren't. So if you have something that comes from other government agency, then I think you can reasonably say this is good. But if you have something that's coming from an applicant, you know, there needs to be a governmental check to make sure, okay, well, this is reasonable. I mean, that's what we do. You know, it's a matter of making sure that the applicant has crossed the T's and dotted the I's from an engineering perspective. That's exactly what happened during the conditional use permit process, although that involved public input. In this particular case, there's only public input if somebody looks at it and has a question and says, this is not technically correct. So that's really, I just want to make sure, as we look at this, if it doesn't violate state ordinance, state law, then we should have this requirement for, as needed, you can access the professional services that are needed. That's really all I'm saying, so that we do the right thing.
I'm still lost.
Until we know what that resolution, that chapter you're talking about, 107, was that it? Until we know what it says, I mean, it may have all that in it. So I just want to see it, and then we can move forward with what
And
we need to
I
do.
agree with the public available information,
Yeah.
if it's out there, so.
That's not an issue.
Yeah.
The issue is, yes, the public can see it, but
Well,
they
in
can have
support-
comments, but I'm so confused. Maybe
Well,
maybe
in
Mr.
support
Walker's
to you,
fine.
that's why we contract with the county for all building permits, because it
Right.
has to meet all their parameters and elements for proper construction and those things.
Well,
So
just
we
someone
rely on
lets
the
me know
county.
what I'm supposed to do, because
And that's why
That
I've asked-
permitting is not through the city, it's through the county building permit. So when it's any structure of this nature and this kind of process.
And that's why we've asked
And-
the attorney to give us a lowdown.
Right, and then we rely on our comp plan and our LDRs to guide us through that, all those elements and those processes, and why LDRs are very important to keep updated as you begin economic development in your community. So, This is discussion only, it doesn't take action tonight, and that's why I think this was healthy. Yes, ma'am. Ms. Lopez, did you want to add to the discussion? No? No, ma'am? Okay, thank you, ma'am.
Oh, that sounds interesting.
Okay. Thank you, and thank you for just listening, Mr. Arnold, regarding just the 2 questions I had. So, not that you have to speak to them, but it just, if I have to call Gamir Engineering myself.
I'm just real curious. I still don't know why this was put on the agenda. I don't know what purpose it served, other than maybe showing some applications and just putting it online. Is that kind of the purpose of that?
I can speak to that. As a
No, I'm-
35-year citizen and
Yeah.
family here, we get lots of calls when the downtown 122-year-old company is changing its presence. And when you have 5-story mounds of dirt on 10 acres in downtown Archer, and I just asked the Arnold family to remember this, you're on the end of Main Street, Archer. I know Archer's a tiny little podunk town, but the community cares about it, and it cares about their downtown. And so there's been thousands of questions. There's been
You've gotten thousands of questions on this.
100+ questions.
Come on, come on, Mayor.
I'll give you names. I'll
Stop
give you a
it.
list.
Hundreds?
Hundreds.
Come on.
In the last.
Can I see those? Are they emails? Do you have hundreds of emails on this?
I have people that I see in the store. I have people when I'm getting gas. I have people at the dollar store. I have every sector of the community.
So
I have
every
my church.
development that comes in this town is going to have this type of scrutiny?
No, sir,
No,
Mr.
because
Arnold.
we've gone through this for a long time, and
part of
we've
it-
jumped through all these hurdles.
In respect,
Go ahead, talk.
I would like to talk about it. In respect to this community, it's an exciting time to see what's going on over there, and it's nosiness. They want to know. They're not saying it's bad. They're just, what's going on? And so this is that opportunity to just make it public, so this information is available, which is, it is public information. And so, and I'm proud to see this and have this, because it's meeting one of the parameters that I was very concerned about, and it seems like it's been met. And that's the noise factor. The enclosing the building. I'm proud for the family or the engineering authority to give the family information that, and the cost involved in that. I'm excited about that. But so is the community about a change in downtown. It's not just the ARM or whatever. The last name I heard, it was going to be something about Maddox. If this is the name of it, I'm even more excited, because I did not, and my wife's family did not want the Maddox name on it. So this kind of clears that up. Easy peasy. It's public information. The other interested asset in Archer that's been an eyesore, just like the old Maddox has been an absolute eyesore as it goes through this evolution. No disrespect to the Arnold reconstructing it, but it's been an eyesore, and I'm proud to see change, myself, my family, my wife's family. But you've got Thicket's property, absolute abysmal eyesore. But we're trying to move that forward. Citizens ask as many questions about that as they do anything of the Himalaya mountains across the street over here. It's different. It's something different, Ms. Arnold, and you have to respect that in a little community. If you don't, then you treat it as an insult, but it's not meant to be an insult. The community cares. As many meetings as you come to, they care about Archer. And that's a big change over there for downtown Archer. So I'd ask you to be proud of that,
Okay.
and see interested community rather than, the need for defense. I think we're beyond. I think we're beyond that at this point. Is as much interest and as the opportunity for the future of Archer, just to make sure that it's a first step in economic development that we've seen. Until we get another new store or something here, Woodland was the last opportunity for the corner down there. The community was scared to death. What's going on there? Then when they saw what it was, and now it's drumming up lots of business. People talk about it in Bronson. People talk about it at the Publix that I work at in Gainesville, which is amazing. I'm going, you know about Woodland? Yeah, they got good fries. They got good hamburgers. They got the best milkshake in the county. I'm proud of that. So that's just my opinion. But I wish the takeaway would be the more you could share, or the family, or the business could share, the more interested they get. I mean, and welcome aboard to Archer downtown, other than the construction site your family's had over there.
Are you
This is a
done?
nosy community.
I'm waiting on you to wrap it up.
This is a nosy community. They were with Maddox. Every opportunity and change that family made over there, what's up? What's going on? I mean, from changing a schedule to the whistle not blowing anymore. So welcome aboard.
Okay, I wanted to listen to
Yes, sir.
how you went on these different rabbit holes here.
They're good rabbit.
We have been in this community for 16 years. You understand that, don't you?
Yes, sir.
Across the street?
Yes, sir.
So we've been invested, we've been part of this community. We've been here. Got employees, we've been a major employer. So how long do you think this has taken us to get where we are on this batch plant? 6 months? Do you think it's been a year? It's been a long time. How long do you think, Deanna? Keep going. It's been a long time to get this process going. And I'm sorry, but it's a bit offensive when you ask questions that you've had the answers to for a long time. What you put on there was from where? From months ago, correct?
February.
All this has been stuff that you've had that's been part of things that we've put out on applications that have been discussed ad nauseum over at the community center.
It's not been presented at the documents.
It's nothing new. So to present it and to have this display, I'm just wondering if we're going to do this for every single applicant that comes in here to go through this, and then to have a special agenda item. The new city attorney here kind of went through it and said, hey, it is what it is kind of thing.
Yes, sir.
To where now it's being played out like this. I mean, it's yet another reason for businesses not to come to Archer.
Yes, sir.
You care about Archer.
Fully understand that.
Stop making it to where this is, we got a bad look today. That's a bad look. When you do things like this, it continues to be a bad look for Archer, where you just almost, I don't know if the word's antagonize, but you, anyways.
Mr. Arnold,
Yes, ma'am.
I don't mean to interrupt you. I honestly didn't know it was about the Arnold property. I assumed it was about the old, trailer park? And the,
That's common, I just got.
and then where the man wanted to set up the camp.
I don't have it.
Well, I just assumed that was what it was about. I had no idea it was, so, I'm sorry, but yeah, I didn't know.
And we are trying to purchase some property, which you're aware of, because I think you tried to purchase it for the last 10 years, and we're trying to do the same thing. It just makes sense, and we're having a heck of a time to do that.
Welcome aboard. Yes, sir.
And hopefully you can get us across the finish line on that, because your two predecessors couldn't. And I don't know what the latest is, but we're trying to give the city money.
Yes, sir.
Just to update you on that, we sent a letter to, I think Rob Lash, I believe was where the letter got sent, and the provision in the contract for sale of, that it's contingent upon zoning change. We can't have a contingent zoning provision like contract zoning. It's against public policy. So I communicated that to Rob Lash, and strike that provision. Seems to me like there was one other thing in the contract for sale, but other than that, we're ready to go.
Okay.
We'd love to get it done as well. As you just noted, we could use the sale of surplus property.
Okay, all right.
So whatever I can do to get it moving, I know Rob very well, and
All right, well, hopefully we'll take care of that before the next
That's why it's
meeting.
old business now to be brought up every month and asked status of, so that we can get that revenue injection where we need it. No
Yes.
rabbit hole intended, just a fact.
And lastly, I think that this could have been resolved. There's a lot of Facebook warriors out there that like to chime and come up with these conspiracy theories and whatnot. It's somewhat amusing. If Deanna just said, right away, they put an application in. I can't speak for Deanna. I don't know why she didn't address it the way she did. I guess in hindsight, it's one thing, but certainly It could have been nipped in the bud, so to speak. Thank
And
you.
it could have been presented in May or June instead.
confused about where we're at.
Supposed to be looking at a motion.
Yeah, so, yeah, we kind of combined the two, so.
This was just information. This was no action to be taken on this.
Yeah, but we needed to go back to vote on our motion, so that's where we should have been taking comments for that motion.
To
Well-
table.
well, I'm
until
ready-
the additional information.
Correct.
Mr. Mayor.
If your comment is to make a
Mr.
motion
Mayor.
on the tabling to get additional information.
Mr. Mayor,
Yes.
I want to find out and address what Mr. Lewandowski was talking about. So that, I didn't have a chance to come up and make my comments. I don't know, I think that was about the platting or something, I don't know.
That was the.
That's-
comment.
what it was
that's-
about?
that's where we
I stepped
are.
out- I
That's
stepped
where
out
we
of the
are.
room
To
and
include
I
the
just
citizen.
wanted to comment on that part of it. Is that where you are?
Yes, that we are on the public comments
On the
for.
planning
that.
authority and
Right.
table it until we get the additional information.
So you're gonna table it, but you were taking comment.
That is the motion.
That is the motion to table it until we get additional information
So
and
you
brought back to
don't
the.
need no
as an
more
agenda.
comments about it?
Not unless it has to do with the tabling until next month to get additional information.
Well,
I wanted
The other
to ask-
discussion was on this packet, it was for information only.
Well, what I wanted to ask, since we have our attorney here, I wanted to ask him, do we need to hire a professional or do we need to go through the planning commission?
Well, it's a really good question, Roberta, and this is a subject matter that Deanna and I talked about earlier today. You know, we're challenged as far as cost and expense. And so what my plan is to bring to the commission a example of a platting process, what Deanna would go through with regard to providing a plat. It's a pretty pro forma thing, meaning you've gone through your zoning process, you've gone all that way. Now you're platting the property and show an example of what that looks like in conjunction with the changes to Chapter 177, which has put additional time constraints on cities that they have to approve things within a certain way. So the administrative process that we're going on right now is partly because of what the legislature did this last legislative session. So I want to explain that a little bit greater detail to the commission so they can see what that platting process is going to look like for Deanna. My recommendation when we get there next month is to say, okay, Deanna has approved these plat, or our city manager has approved these plats. This is what, almost like an informational item, so that the city sees, okay, we had a subdivision come in, the developer rezoned the property, they did all of that. That's gonna go through P&Z, it's gonna go to the city commission meeting, and all of that approval process. Once that's done, then the developer comes in and says, now I'm going to plat that property. I'm going to have one residential unit per acre, have an example so that they can see that. That's what this is all about.
And that's where Deanna comes in and say, it's
city-
okay?
Yes.
Or not
that's-
okay?
That's where she says okay or not
Administrator
okay.
has that authority.
That's right. And it'd be an administrative authority. That's what this particular
Will she
thing's all
fully
about.
understand what she's,
Well, and that's kind of what we talked about
because
earlier.
when I first looked at it in the packet, I did it in a hurry today because I didn't have a chance to read all this stuff. But when I first looked at it, the first thing I said, I don't know if Deanna is qualified to do that.
Well, and actually, this is.
Yeah, but that was my thought. I can say what my thought was.
She-
I just didn't think so. You know what I mean?
What we talked about earlier is getting back up to her so that when she's approving uses by right, or she's approving a plat or whatever, that she has the assistance of the law, the legal office.
Right.
That, we're giving her assistance, that North Central Florida Planning Council is also giving her assistance on these things. So yes, there will be backup, there will be review that is in addition to Deanna.
Okay.
Or your city manager,
I
whoever that might
appreciate
be.
you explaining that, I really do. Now, we through with the Plat thing, so the next thing is coming up is, I think I saw something about Ronnie Arnold LLC.
That's a discussion item, we just had
Okay,
discussion.
so I'll wait for that one next.
Mr. Lewandowski, you had comments on the,
Not on the motion. I already made my comments on the motion, thank you.
okay. We'll go to a vote on tabling to get additional information. All those in favor say aye.
Aye.
Aye as well, nays like sign, motion carries 5-0. The table, the administrative plat authority to the administrator until we get additional information. Now, in the full discussion, thank you, audience, for your patience and the diatribe between me, Rabbit Holes, and Mr. Arnold. Are there any other discussion from the constituency regarding this information? Yes, sir, Mr. Lewandowski.
Right, so now we're speaking on,
This just packet of information, yes, sir.
I'm sorry, I'm lost. This is, what are you?
The process that's moving forward.
Okay, that one, okay. Thank you. Okay. Yes. Okay, so first off, just so there's no misconceptions, I'm a Facebook warrior. Okay, I admit it. It is my First Amendment right. It makes elected officials uncomfortable. That's just the way it is. And I think you guys all appreciate that. I'm sure all of you probably have your issues with elected officials, just as I do. So I try to be polite and accurate. At least I try. So my comments on this, excuse me one second. So I think the reason this has come up now is because it really has just been recently when we've been informed of the approvals that have taken place up to this point. So I've sent you some emails on it. I'm not going to go through that here, but at this point in time, we have all the public has been exposed to all the information. So that's why this has come up. So there's a letter in the packet from North Florida Central Planning Council dated April 25th, 2025. It contains a site plan checklist with unresolved items. And again, the reason why there's a site plan checklist is because the development is taking place outside of the existing building. That's why it's there. And I think the February letter says that from the Planning Council, explains why that's there. So it's a site plan checklist with unresolved issue. The letter says in part, once, I quote, once the city engineer and fire chief have determined that the plans meet the requirements of the land development code, the application can be scheduled for review, unquote. So that's the letter from the Planning Council to the city manager. So the problem that I have is that there's nothing in the record provided to the public that shows how we get from that letter to the letter sent to the applicant approving the site plan. So, I mean, the letter says, well, you know, you need to have your fire chief, which we don't have, we have to go to the county, and your city engineer look at this stuff. I don't see anything that says that. And so that's really kind of my concern when I look at that. I also have a concern with the checklist. So Section 25, Consistency and Concurrency Management, talks about how all development orders need to be reviewed to make sure they're in part of the comprehensive plan. It's consistent with goals, objectives, you know, on and on and on. So it's just a checklist item. It doesn't say how that was done. You know, I don't know if somebody just said, yeah, it was done. Or somebody went through some sort of a, you know, systematic process to say, yeah, this happened. It's just a check. So it doesn't say who did that. You know, I don't know if it's just the Regional Planning Council that did that, but of course our ordinance says that the city manager has to do that, because she's the zoning manager at this point. So I've got some concerns about what's happened here. And again, I'm not arguing that the applicant has the right to put a plant there, but our ordinance says that they're required a site plan, and certain things have to be done for the site plan. So I just want to make sure that we are crossing the T's and dotting the I's.
And defining the check that you haven't gotten.
Correct, and see how we got from, hey, you know, you need to resubmit this to us once these guys look at it, to a couple days later, poof, you've got approval. And that's where my concern lies.
And for clarification that may or may not help, Deanna, once you relied on the North Central Florida Planning Council review with their master planners, that defined all the elements that they review and come back with their recommendation, not from an authoritative standpoint, but from a recommendation standpoint, correct? And then that drove, I'm sorry, I'm not trying to lead you down the rabbit hole, that then led you to the letter that states This is not permitting other than for the other regulatory agencies, i.e. county building permit and the fire marshal and their review. That was what drove your letter with that definition in that, correct? I mean,
Yes.
now that I'm getting caught up with this whole trail from February, Mr. Lewandowski and citizenry till now, that is in your latest letter dated, it's in my packet, whatever, from you. It was that July? I'm sorry, that letter that. So now, in brief, it's still under the building permit process, and that is just all for information for the citizenry. And that, through what the master planners do at North Central Florida Planning Council in their review of all the elements and the components, that then defines that check, Mr. Lewandowski.
Yeah, so, again, if you look at now, I can only go what's been publicly available. So it's ever been put on the website or on the Dropbox, or what has been put into the packet that's been provided to the public digitally. So, if you look at excuse me a second here while I bring that up. Okay, so if you look at the checklist, there are some unresolved items that have been kicked back and said, look, you need to have somebody review these items, and then once you tell us it's been reviewed, send it back to us. I mean, that's what the letter says. So, so for example, the noise plan, I think it was the fire plan, the environmental stuff, those types of things need to somebody need to look at it and say, yes, we think this is okay, and then goes back to the Regional Planning Commission, again, going by their letter, and then it comes back to the zoning manager. So I don't see that happening. I just see a letter coming from the 25th to the city, and then the city on May 5th sending a letter to Mr. Arnold, not Mr. Arnold, but to Arnold Construction. So I don't see this other stuff that's supposed to have been done. I don't see that in the packet. It may exist. It's not there for the public to review.
Deanna, was this report submitted to North Central Florida Planning as part of the checking exercise,
They have everything that I have.
which is this information and more to review?
Yeah, it was 2 full packets. As you
Packets.
see, the things are megabyte big.
So, and then, go ahead.
Gene, when you guys did the first one, I thought we already went through all this. Okay, so that's why would we go through it again? It's literally,
fire?
yeah.
I remember that. I remember it being done.
And I don't see where it says I have to submit
Right.
it back to them.
Long time since
I don't
last
know where you
October,
see that.
September and October. Yeah.
Because I called on the helipad to see if it would interfere with the helipad. Sorry, but I did. And he told me, no, it would not.
Right, and the stormwater, that has Swanee River, fire suppressions, the fire chief hazardous materials plan, I'm pretty sure it's in here. The emission discharge.
Those are
noise,
those
we already
additional
addressed
checks,
joy.
that- but it's not in public information for you to review.
If it would be easier, I will be happy to.
Go ahead. It goes back to-
It would be easier, so we don't have to,
Former
go with this. I'll send a letter with my specific issues.
With the checks.
And again, with the check, so where's the documentation? How did we get from a letter from the 25th to approval on May 5th, because there's a blank space in there?
What
And
are
our
those
ordinance,
authoritative agencies? that
correct,
review
and our
this?
ordinance does require to have these records. So I'm not asking for anything that the ordinance does not already require to be available.
Okay,
Okay,
I
thank you.
understand.
I think the confusion comes that part of it's under Charles Hammond and part of it's under Deanna.
Right, okay. Any other questions from the constituency regarding just the discussion regarding this public information with the opportunity for economic development in Archer?
Is that the part where it says right after the Plat stuff?
Discussion, yes, ma'am, for the ARM opportunity for economic. Huh? Oh, I'm sorry.
You didn't look this way.
Yes, ma'am. If it's regarding this information packet,
First of all, we didn't get a packet, so I don't have any of this.
you can have this one if you'd like.
I've been
printed it.
playing on my phone and I can't see it, so anyway, trying to figure out what's what. it's really bad that we didn't even have an agenda tonight for the people. We could at least, y'all should have called me up, I would have copied some. But anyway, that's another story.
We had that vote.
That's a cost
Citizens
savings
asked
action.
us to not do that.
Yeah, I know, not to do the big packages, but an agenda I'm talking about.
Oh,
I'm not talking about that.
you
great
just
big
want
book.
the agenda.
The agenda. I couldn't even see the agenda on my little phone.
Oh, you don't know how to make it bigger.
So anyway, to make a long story short, I guess we're back with this Mr. Arnold stuff. And today, I called a couple of days ago, FDOT, because I wanted to find out if Mr. Gene Arnold and his family was gonna bring the piping underneath Highway 24, right at 174th Street. Well, they confirmed. When I called him today, I spoke to Mr. Adams or somebody, and he said the permit was approved on August the 25th. I still don't know where this water, what is gonna go into those two big retention ponds across on the north side of Highway 24. I know that he did tell me that some of it would be, from the rains. But I'm not sure, and I don't know if Mr. Arnold wanted to answer this or not. But when you reconstruct those two ponds, Mr. Arnold, is it just gonna be storm water, or is it gonna be any other fluid or water from your plant?
It's just gonna be stuff.
And the storm water is gonna be coming from where?
I'll be honest, I'm not the engineer.
Like off the highway or somewhere?
Yeah, I'm not the engineer on it, I don't know all the details.
Okay.
What is your concern? That we
My
put it over there?
my concern is that you're gonna, my concern is this. Santa Fe is on the west side, your ponds are on the east side, and our road going into our community is right in the middle. Okay? So when these big ponds are reconstructed, I'm sure you're gonna have to dig them deeper, most likely. How are you planning to protect the environment and the people from whatever you're gonna be putting in there? But my main concern is whether or not any of your batch plant stuff is going into those big ponds.
It most certainly is not.
Okay, so how do you plan to protect the environment and our children in case some are running up and down that little road? And you know, when I was a kid, I would have jumped in the pond. So what are your plans for that? How are you planning to construct that and protect us as citizens?
So that's part of the plans that has to be approved before he can even be approved.
Okay, so the plans are where now? Yeah. The plans for FDOT been approved. I got the letter.
Don't they have to go to DEP right, that has to be approved.
Well,
And he's probably not the planner to
FDOT, I beg your pardon?
Turn your mic on, Deanna, they can't hear you, I'm sorry.
They have every, she forgot.
The mic is not on.
I don't have all.
Turn your microphone on, Deanna.
Oh, yeah, I can get on, this is why I didn't want it back on the agenda, because I feel like we're just going over and over the same stuff we went over last time. But yes, this is the Swanee River Water Management, and I know they have all about their permits.
Oh, I know that he has all his permits. I'm not asking that question. My question is, when he pumps that water across that road in those two big ponds and reconstruct all of that, what are his plans for protecting the environment and the citizens in that area, including the Santa Fe people across the street?
Right, and that's where the, like Commissioner White said, the EPA and Swanee River and everybody that looks at all that stuff, that's their job, from what I understand, to monitor all of that going forward, not the city of Archer's
Okay,
responsibility.
no, we're not, I know the city
Okay,
only
we're asking
issues
about
of,
protecting
the
as
city
far as
only
the-
put issues of permit, I believe, for zoning, am I right? That's all you do, so you don't even have to discuss this. My question is to find out from him what he's planning to do to protect the environment and the citizens and our children in that community. Because it's gonna be two great big old ponds across the road.
Ms. Lopez, if we don't have that plan in front of us tonight, that's something that you can acquire from DOT as far as.
I've already done it, thank you very much.
Then you have the answer to the question you were asking.
I don't have the question, I said, I've already requested it.
Thank you. Anyone else regarding this discussion? Hearing none, we'll move on. It was discussion only.
Please, let's not put this back on the agenda. Okay.
Just provide it on the website or make it public record. Yes, ma'am. Ms. Fiore, go ahead.
Karen Fiore.
If it's regarding this discussion packet.
It
Yes,
is,
ma'am.
it's required, it's in reference to the talking under the microphones
Yes,
here.
ma'am.
You know,
It's rude.
we're citizens, we're concerned, we have the right to be up here. I
Absolutely.
mean, go to your 3 minutes if you have to do it and put us on a timer, but don't do all that little talking if you don't want us to be back here making all those
And
noises.
participate. Yes, ma'am. That was my rabbit hole chasing. I was just,
Correct.
duly noted. Next item is Volunteer Citizen Advisory Committee. As a new business item, I'll pass the gavel. I'd like to make a motion that we consider the Volunteer Citizen Advisory Committee. I'm sorry, I guess I didn't have to pass it yet because the last item under that, number 3, is Volunteer Code Enforcement Discussion.
Can I table that till next meeting? I
Yeah,
have some
yes,
more
ma'am,
things
and
I'm
then
looking at.
All right,
Please.
then I will pass the gavel and make my motion to consider setting up or considering a volunteer citizen advisory committee with 2 targeted opportunities for oversight, and that is the depositing process on a regular basis to support the staff that we currently have. And the second thing that they would specifically oversee and begin the process of, and that's reviewing our LDRs and our comp plan amendment process that will certainly have changes as I speak to the SB 180 tonight. I know the last time I introduced it, I had a whole outline of things that they could do, but I'm trying to target specificity. And all due respect to Ms. Altop, if you had specific things, but certainly it could add the code enforcement opportunity to volunteer looking for those things and doing the courtesy letters. That would certainly, if they ran out of things to do with these 2 focus items, it would certainly add that. Not trying to usurp your opportunity to speak to that. But those are 3 critical things that could change and plan for the changes that are occurring in our small community. From economic development opportunities that Archer hasn't seen a lot of, and I'm sorry, I'm looking at you, Mr. Arnold, because I'm proud of that, but we haven't had a lot of that economic development. I go home and I'm sorry, I'm being rabbit hole chasing or whatever, but to me, it's part of the growing pains. It is as Ms. Fiore just said, it is a vetted community-based citizenry that has concerns for the community they love. And if it offends you or the family, welcome to the club, because every time I'm trying to look at the past rearview mirror and move quickly forward, every time there's a change at Maddox, everybody wanted to know. And everybody wanted to know whether it was regulated. Everybody wanted to know why there was a process change at that 120-year industry. I know you've had 16 years of ongoing business industry here, proud for it. But welcome to the club. There's going to be more of the same. And we're about to get into economic development and affordable housing and opportunities like that. So there's going to be more of this growing pain. That this citizenry and these constituents that are out here and these Facebook lovers are going to have more and more questions. And I mean that with respect, not disrespect, Mr. Lewandowski. I'm not a Facebook person. But there are those that feed and love off of it, positive and negative. There's nothing wrong with that. It offends you, it gets you defensive, it gets you cross-armed, I get it. But I still think there is that vetted interest in our citizenry that has an interest in volunteering and helping, and could help us in our continued recovery, and could help this current situation of staffing that we have in areas that are these three areas. So I'd like to reintroduce that and consider those names that were available for us to consider for a citizen advisory committee. Our sister municipalities, and Mr. Walker, tell me if I'm wrong, but most of our sister municipalities welcome citizen advisory committees. I think I spoke the last time I brought this up. Gainesville has 12 or 16 different advisory committees. They're a lot larger, I get it, but there's nothing unhealthy about having citizen volunteer advisory committees that bring recommendations forward on things that we outlined that we have a need. And I just outlined 3 things, so. I'd like to make that motion to the effect. If it dies for lack of a second, then it dies. Again. Yes, ma'am.
Blue pen, babe.
What? The pen? Yes, ma'am.
My bad. Oh, okay, I thought,
I'm done.
do we
That's my
have a
motion.
second or?
Make a motion on it.
He did make a motion.
That
He,
was my motion, just to consider it specific to those 3 areas.
I guess we can second it for the sake of discussion.
Thank you.
I'll second it for the sake of discussion.
thank you. So we have a motion by Mayor Hope and a second by Commissioner Green. Any commissioner discussion?
Do we have a list of names, and will the commission be choosing the names of the advisory committee? Did we have? I know some people signed up, but
Somebody got some names. I'm not sure who have those names anymore.
We had a list.
Well, Lori emailed me, I believe she emailed me a list, but I don't know some of the people's
Yeah, we can-
qualifications. But
Just
go
for
ahead,
discussion,
Mayor.
we could certainly reintroduce that and see what volunteers would be interested in these specific areas to assist at this point, and an opportunity to continue our recovery and strengthen our ability to have codification in the community with the assistance from volunteers.
Mr. Mayor, could you run those back by me again? I didn't have my pen in my
Yeah,
hand.
and it's not in a specific priority list, but it would, well, I mean, I guess the number one thing would just be the volunteer auditing of the depositing process, to ensure that that's happening in a timely, and assisting Deanna in that, just as assisting. And I think you've already,
Can you stop right there just for a minute, but how is an advisory committee going to assist her in that?
they're gonna be auditing that process. And then
How?
looking at the deposits and the closure of that standard operating
All of
procedure.
them? I mean, you're gonna have a committee that's doing it?
There'd be a group of people that just came in to make sure that those were timely based on the standard operating procedure that she sets in
You're gonna
place.
have a group that's coming in to do it?
Just specific to
I
that.
just wanna know how you.
Yes, ma'am. They
because
would
that
come in,
is- to
they would
me,
come in there and
that's-
support the staff in that closing of that process, that closed loop of that process. From the bagging of the cash and the checks to the physical depositing and the return with that receipt, in whatever time parameter that she sets as the new standard operating procedure to ensure it closes the loop. So what just happened doesn't happen again. And it would be just an oversight committee that does that function specifically at that. They could set up a schedule when it's convenient for them and Deanna, so it's not too burdensome. I mean, that's how it'd be done. And then they'd buy. And it would be ensuring, so Deanna has all these other projects she's working on, she can be ensured that there's total transparency and it's being done. Are you telling me it's done now?
No, I'm just telling you that that's our job. That's our job, and if we're not doing it, then I'm like Mr. Tafani, we need to step down. And if we're not doing it, then, but that's our job. Bringing in a group of citizens to do our job is
Okay,
not.
I'm not gonna argue with it, I'm just saying you've got
I'm not gonna argue
volunteer,
with you
you've got
either, and I'm not
volunteer
gonna sit and
citizens that
listen
wanna be a
to you try
part.
to talk over me tonight. I'm not in the mood.
I'm not in the mood in what just happened
Okay, order.
and a loss of 90 days of deposits.
Neither of us are quick for that. Let's continue.
Sorry.
Civilly.
Are you finished? I don't wanna talk over you. Are you
I'm
finished?
finished.
Okay. It's a volunteer group of people that builds the trust in the citizenry that would ensure that that was happening and support the staff that we have. That's my answer to that. Number two, the codification and looking at code violations and bringing those back and producing the courtesy letters. Again, I guess we could be doing that too as well, Commissioner White, but if you've got citizenry.
Mayor, I'm telling you, stop it.
Stop
And
what?
stop it now. I have listened to you rabbit hole to Mr. Arnold till that's sickening, and now you're gonna start with me. I'm not putting up with it tonight.
Yeah.
Now, understand, I'm not gonna, if you can't be professional, I don't have to be professional, and we can both call this meeting.
Madam Vice Mayor, I'm just trying to answer the questions that are being presented to me and what is the purpose of it.
So just answer the question succinctly, please, so we can move forward.
I use the example of the codification assistance that would be from a volunteer basis and would include the courtesy letters and identifying properties that don't seem to be in compliance with whatever code that we have or ordinance regarding that. Assisting with that. And the third process is the LDRs and reviewing our comp plan and possible amendment opportunities, because we have a group of citizenry that is certainly interested in that for the future, for this economic opportunity in Archer. Ensure it's timely and done timely, which none of us have ever done that timely. In my period here, we've always been behind the 7-year 8-ball. And we have a sister municipality like Newberry that I can witness to their exponential growth opportunity, but they constantly have, and Mr. Walker, correct me if I'm wrong, but they have constant LDR issues of trying to get caught up with different things that are approaching them with the economic spur growth that's happening in some of these neighborhoods, and their LDRs aren't matching that. And so this advisory committee would be on top of those things as they approached us from a planning perspective. That's what I'm speaking of. And I'm sorry, that's the three things. Going back to your courtesy of what are the three things?
So are we talking about 3 different advisory
No,
committees?
ma'am, one committee that.
One committee overseeing all of that?
Yes, because this is Archer, it's
Well,
1,300 populations.
I think when you start doing too much, then you're not gonna have any employees. So I think I admit that there are some changes that need to possibly take place. There are some things that we can watch a little bit better. Most people don't want people over their shoulders watching every little thing. I just believe that maybe the ball may have gotten dropped as far as the situation that we just went through. We definitely don't want to throw stones, and therefore, hey, we all have children, we raise them best we can, and sometimes they make mistakes, so we don't want to throw stones. We all have relatives that we love, regardless of what they do, so I'm not trying to do that. I just think that the ball may have gotten dropped as far as, going through the process and maybe a little bit of oversight there. But that would be something for Deanna, that we would need to have a conversation with her about before we come up with all of this. I think that we owe her that much respect. And I would say table this and let's have a conversation with her or whatever, but because we don't want to run the help that we have. And sure, you can hire more, but we're going to be like some years ago, you had one manager behind the other, one behind the other, because nobody was satisfied with anybody. And I'm not saying she's a city manager. I'm not saying make her the city manager. I'm just saying that we don't want to throw stones. We don't want to make people feel bad. We don't want to make relatives feel bad. I believe we all love Archer, and I just think it's something that, maybe each one of us can have a conversation with her on a separate basis, and let's see how we can help before we move forward with this. That's my take.
I love your idea, Commissioner Green, and I was sitting here thinking, what is Deanna thinking and what kind of help does she need? So I'd like your suggestion to talk with her and see what we need to do.
And I just want to add, with saying that to the citizens, we want to do what's best for Archer. If it takes whatever moves we have to make, if it takes that, then we're going to do that. I'm personally, that's the only reason I'm here, because I love Archer and I want what's best for Archer. Do we sometimes not? Maybe we've dropped the ball somewhere along the way too, but I don't think anybody has, I don't want to use my words wrong. The judge is sitting here, he could judge me better than anybody, I guess. But
We're all
I think we're all people, and we all, I believe everybody up here love Archer, and we want what's best for Archer. We want Archer to recovery, and we are trying to do that the best we can. So I just think that, again, with all due respect, and it's not that with that we're going to overlook anything. I just think that there's a way and respectful way to do things. That's just my take. But we are still going to do what is best for Archer.
Again, love your words. All right, are we done, commissioners? Public comment, and you have 3 minutes.
Can you start with 3 minutes, even though we haven't been doing it this whole entire meeting?
I can, because I have the gavel and I have the timer. Thank you.
So I've sat up here and talked about the approval of checks many, many, many times, and that procedure still hasn't taken place. The Dallas provided with a checklist on things that should be done, processes, and still that has been overlooked, and now we're in the situation that we're in today. We've sat here as citizens saying that we're willing to help. I do not agree, Mayor, with all respect, with going in and doing the deposit process, because that is a process that your staff should be doing, and your staff should be taking that very seriously, and there should be checks and balances. And you had 3 people in your office that was able to make that check and balances work, and they failed you. And as far as now the commission is going to do the right things, I'm not sure why we're now just doing the right things, because we've already known, we've already been told, and yet now we're here almost a year later still doing the same wrong things. So I do fear that we'll continue going down the wrong path, but I don't think that it's the citizens to go through and do those checks and balances for the checks and the deposits. Perhaps maybe the LDR that you mentioned might be a good citizen advisory committee, and I agree with that. Thanks.
Thank you.
Roberto Lopez, if you recall, Deanna was sent a list by Laura Costello. I saw that list, I have that list. Very, very qualified people are on that list. If you remember, you tabled this before, citizen advisory. It was tabled. It was given, the directions were given to Deanna to look at the list, come up with whatever plan she wanted to come up with. I offered a lot of suggestions at what this advisory committee could do. I remember Laura telling me that Deanna asked her if she would take over getting the letters out on the codes, but she said she wasn't able to do that by herself. But that would have been a great opportunity for you, Deanna, to get with Laura and say, okay, look at your list. See if you could help me get some people to help take care of codes. Have you seen the codes in this town?
I have, and I did. I talked to her one night for like 30 minutes.
Okay,
and I thought
you're cutting off her time, right?
Yes, I thought she was going to get me more names, so I figured she didn't want to do it.
But no, she was going away or something. She couldn't do it. But that was an opportunity. By now, we could have had all of our codes stuff in place. At least get the letters out to the people and say,
Right, I'm
okay,
sorry to keep-
fix your stuff.
Right, so who wants to volunteer? That's what I'm
No,
waiting
no, no, no,
for,
you were
people to
given,
come help.
this is what I'm trying to tell you. We are going over the same thing that we already been through. And the list was given to you and you were asked to pick out who you wanted.
I don't know who knows how to do codes.
No, 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 but the list was, okay, we wanted you to find some people also that you could work with. We told you that, get the people that you wanted to work with you, that you felt comfortable with. So the ball's been dropped again, Deanna, I'm sorry.
And we didn't table the advisory council. Deanna said that she would like to have citizens work with her, and she asked could she get names, and we agreed that she can get those and go through them, but yeah, we never. I'm responding to what was said. That's fine, honey. Thank you. Yes, sir.
You can call me anytime you want.
Hi, honey. I'm
Yeah,
ready.
Yeah, so just a couple of things. One is I think one big committee doesn't make any sense. That you should break it up in functional areas. I think that you should probably come up with some functional areas that would make sense, like the planning, that type of stuff that makes sense to me to do that. I think that you need to though be specific, provide specific information on whether or not the specific advisory boards require that state form, the financial form. So I think some do and some don't, depending upon what they. And back to Commissioner Green, so you know that because you and Commissioner Penny sat with us for almost 6 months as we went through the rewrite for the charter, which has gone nowhere. So I think that the charter review, I think we did a pretty good job. It passed legal review, and I think it addresses a lot of the systemic issues that exist, and particularly not having an elected mayor, as Newberry has, that allows that individual to be able to deal, get around some of the sunshine law issues, but still satisfies the intent of it. So we did base a lot of it on Newberry. We did some other things, but I think it fixes a lot of issues. So I really wish that somebody would take a look at that, and I know it's problematic with money. Maybe we can get money from the state or something to get the thing published so we can get on the ballot. But please take a look at that. I mean, we spent a lot of time, and I think we really tried to be open with everybody to make sure that we covered all the bases on it. So take a look at that. I think it answers some of the questions. Thanks.
Thank you. Additional comments? All right, seeing none, we can now go for a vote. All in favor of the motion on the floor signify by saying aye.
Aye.
All of,
I was gonna say, wait a minute.
I'm sorry, I forgot what the motion.
oh, the motion was, I don't remember all of the words that, for the advisory committee.
Initiate a volunteer citizen advisory committee with those 3 specific topic areas to start with. So, and the added comment that was very important, I think, do they have to do the financial disclosure? That's a legal question. I'm not sure of whether advisory committees have to do that. I'm not looking for an answer.
Once it would be established, we'd look at it and make sure if
That they
whether
were
the
compliant with any of the
Right.
state statute, with the Form 1 or whatever.
Yes.
Okay.
All right, so all in favor of the motion signify by saying aye.
Aye.
All opposed likewise. Aye. Motion fails.
Okay, the next
1
new
to
item
4.
that I was asking Vice Mayor if you'd hold on to the
Got-
gavel. Is
Okay.
to advertise and post for the permanent city administrator position. This is the 3rd request this year.
Yes, it is.
Oh, that was his.
That's a
mo- oh, I-
motion for consideration.
No, he added it.
Those are the second,
Okay,
that was
I
the
was a
second
little
new,
late.
I'm sorry. That was the second new business item I
Okay.
asked you just introduce. That's why I passed the gavel.
All right, do we have a second or no?
I would second for the sake of discussion again.
Okay. All right,
Madam Vice Mayor,
yes, ma'am.
we just budgeted for a part-time city manager. So we could afford a part-time manager, and Deanna is the, going back to her position as the clerk. I don't have a problem with advertising for a part-time manager, spending at most the $45,000 we budgeted.
Yep.
But I'm not gonna agree to a full-time manager right now.
Any other commissioners?
We are discussing, right?
Yes.
Along with that, we're still eventually going to have to get an accountant. So, I don't know if we have the funds for an accountant and a full-time manager, and it's gonna, we need them all, so citizens, don't get me wrong, we need both positions. We need both of them filled. But for the sake of our budget, what we are working with, we know that right now we can't afford both a full-time accountant, which we know eventually we can't keep Dallas always. He's not a permanent fit, so we're definitely going to need a good accountant. City manager, we're going to need that as well. But I don't know if we're in a position at this time, to hire a full-time city manager. I think we're going to have to work with the budget that we have until we can get to the Lord. Just pour out a miracle in the city of Archer, which I'm praying for. That we have to
Yeah, so like,
work with what we have.
like Commissioner White said, we did budget for a part-time city manager.
Right.
And a part-time accountant, right?
Part-time bookkeeper.
But,
What we
part-time
need is an
bookkeeper.
accountant.
But now
And I had the opportunity to go to the labor union breakfast. And I missed the guy's name, but I text Tina before I got here. I got to find his name because he is over the labor union and he is their accountant. They were in dire straits just like Archer. In fact, they was worse because they had lost their charter. He came in, looked at all of their books and got them back on track. And I think he's retired, and I think he worked with them part-time. And I wanted to get his name, but I will, to see if we can reach, he might apply for the position because I think he's retired. He does things like part-time. I think he just helped them with their books and keep them in line and make sure they're right. So he'll be a good, I want to say it's DeBose.
Hold on.
I want to say
That was all top. Would you just announce that you've posted the accountant specialist position as the mic's
Yes.
not on
Yes.
yesterday?
It's not as part or full-time.
Right.
It's just posted as a position.
That position's been posted.
So just so you know, though, that current position was only like $21 an hour. A real accountant's gonna want way more than that.
Right,
I'm just
right.
making sure you guys are like
Right.
30 or more, probably more than what me and Calvin make, just so you know what we're
Right.
doing.
But if we don't hire a manager right now and we use it for an accountant, a good accountant, then I don't know if we can make it work or not, but we need an accountant. We need somebody in here that can give us a profit and loss. If we'd had a profit and loss, we would have known this was going on. We haven't had one in years, and we need a profit and loss, and we're not gonna get it without somebody that knows what they're doing. We need an accountant.
And Dallas did give me who to go to as well, and I forgot who else was back there. So I have references, and I'm gonna reach out and see what the cost is and see if I don't get any applications. So we're trying. I mean, I'll do my best to get us through with this payroll and paying the bills, but all I can do is what I can do. It's only me and Tangi, of course, and 2 people in Public Works as well.
And she needs help, and she needs help in the right way. And then she can do her job, and, what we've had in there, Justin was not a bookkeeper. We need a profit and loss. I'm telling y'all something, that, to me, that's the biggest thing we're missing, is a profit and loss. And if we had it, yeah. But that's gonna take an account.
Okay. Are we done, commissioners? Are you guys done? All right, well, public discussion.
Karen Fiore, I disagree. You don't need an accountant at this kind of organization. You have literally like, what, 50 bills a month that you pay out, plus your payroll. It's such a small organization. You are at a little over $1 million of a budget. This is not an accountant atmosphere. You wouldn't want your accountant to be at a higher grade than your city manager. A part-time city manager can run this, I believe, quite well with some experience, and I think that pay at 45 for a part-timer, or even 20 hours a week, not even full part-timer, 15 hours would probably be fine for this organization. A bookkeeper that understands how to use the software will be able to provide you with a profit and loss. It's not necessarily because they have the title accountant, it's understanding the actual process on putting the information in the system and that. And I'll go back, the oversight and the segregation, making sure that each employee is doing the proper thing, and that it has to be a lot of oversight from your existing employees will prevent these type of things from happening. Again, you don't need, in my opinion, an accountant. That's what you would rely on your auditor by year end as well. And when you do have those accounting questions that your bookkeeper can't answer, you pick up the phone and you call your auditor. If they can't do it, then you reach out to an actual accountant. There's other ways than just completely saying I have to pay somebody, $80-some thousand and sit here as an accountant.
Thank you.
And if we can get by with a bookkeeper, who knows, and I'm sorry, Mr. Lewandowski.
Okay, take your time.
I'm not a bookkeeper, I'm not an accountant, I don't like numbers, period. So, if we can get by with a bookkeeper that is proficient in ethics and QuickBooks, why can't they go to Edmonds?
No, we do. We have a year backlog still. Everyone's maybe not forgetting about that. We have a year backlog. That's why I said a part-time at the moment I would not recommend at all. But in the future, yes, I agree with that 100%. If that's what it takes, I get that. But right now, with a year backlog, that's what's holding the profit and loss. That's what's holding going to Edmonds, because it has to be in QuickBooks where we can move everything back over to Edmonds. Everyone's got to be trained. I mean, we're trying to move it forward.
Then when you posted it, did you put proficient in Edmonds and QuickBooks?
I did not put Edmonds on there.
Please put Edmonds. We're paying them an outrageous amount, and I don't want to bring somebody else in here that can't do Edmonds.
And do you have the advertisement for accountant or bookkeeper? Because I saw accountant on here.
It's called account specialist is the current title.
Would that be the same as bookkeeper?
It can be, yes.
So we want to make sure.
If that's what we're going for.
But
But if that's what we're going for, because one application I already have a master and a bachelor's degree, I mean, it's got a lot of experience on it, so they want a decent amount of money, of course. So if we're looking for more a bookkeeper, then I'll know, so when people send in stuff.
I'd like to have somebody that's proficient in a program that we're paying a heck of a price for.
Right. Okay.
All right, Mr. Lewandowski, sorry.
No, that's okay. It's important discussion. So, so I agree with Karen. I don't think you need a accountant per se. I think a solid bookkeeper, account specialist, same thing really. Most organizations I've been in where at this type of a budget level you're at, I've seen a solid bookkeeper, and then they usually have of course you don't have this issue, but they usually have an accountant who does taxes for them, who they can go to for that kind of information. You don't have taxes like that. But the auditor that you have a contract with, you can go ask those important types of questions. That's a good mix I think. I also think, good luck with finding somebody who's proficient in admins. If you have somebody who's proficient, I would think in QuickBooks, a good solid individual, they could probably learn admins. I haven't touched it, so I don't know, but I'm going to make that assumption. But I don't know how easy it's to find somebody who does admins.
Similar menus, it's just a lot of steps to get what you need to get done in admins. But it has a similar, all the level menus. So when you look at QuickBooks compared to admins, it is a little similar, so to speak.
So yeah, so somebody who's proficient in that type of accounting software, bookkeeping software, is probably going to be able to go over to admins with training and stuff. Yeah, that's what I would say too. So, using the word accountant, like I think everybody has said, if you're talking about a lot of money, I don't think you need it for the level of budget we're at. So, good solid systems, with a good solid bookkeeper and somebody you can have on a string to call when you have a good question, that's what you need, I think. Thank you.
Well, I will retract what I said, and I agree with what the citizens had said. Yes, and I think if we can get a good bookkeeper though, and part-time manager, I think we can do it.
Okay.
We can make it. We can survive.
But what was the motion? What was the motion?
I'll amend my motion to a part-time administrative manager to ensure we have that extra level in administration to assist the current staff.
Okay.
If that's what we've budgeted, I'd like to see that advertised and posted and see what we have. It's like going fishing, just to see what we have. If we have that seasoned part-time person that could really assist with the administrative level of things that need to be reviewed to make sure that the current staff has check and balance and the internal processes so that we don't have the errors that we've had.
Commissioner Green, are you gonna,
I'm done. I was just telling Ms.
no, are you
Lopez.
gonna update your?
I just need to. I just need a second. I just need to second what you said.
Yeah, it's still the administrator.
He just amended it,
advertising that
yes.
at the part-time
So I
level.
made my second.
Thank you.
Okay. And I was just telling Ms. Lopez, don't bring any trouble up here.
Are we going to,
Honey, I sure can do that. But anyway, let's not use the word bookkeeper, please.
Account specialist, I think we
Please
said.
don't use that word,
right?
bookkeeper. That's
Accounts.
what we had before, a bookkeeper. That's what's on the application and everything. Account specialist would be a better thing to use. Bookkeeper and accounting specialist, I think there is my son is a certified public accountant, or whatever you want to call it, CFO. So I just think we need to use that instead of bookkeeper, because I think it's a difference in those two. I do believe it. Please don't call nobody else a bookkeeper, because that's what we've had in the past, and it didn't work.
Thank you.
Nah.
All right.
That's my question.
Oh, ask your question, I'm sorry.
If you want to go for a part-time manager, are we gonna look at, city managers international, what is it?
ICMA?
Yes, that's
You
it.
don't have to.
Well, can we, because I have not, that's who we've had them from the last few, and look what we got. And I'm ready to look locally, yeah. And
You can go through the league.
we can do that,
You go through the League
I'm
of Cities, you don't have to do ICMA. That's,
I'm looking for a retired person that is good. You want a job, Ms. You're not retired. Never mind.
All right. Okay, so let's go to a vote. All in favor of the motion on the floor signify by saying aye.
Aye.
Opposed likewise. Motion carries 5-0. And you may have the gavel back.
Thank you, Mayor, for doing that.
You're quite welcome.
Okay, next on the agenda is reports, correspondence, and communication. None? Other than the notification you did post for the position to replace the current vacancy. the accountant specialist, or whatever you've advertised. Thank you. The city manager report, it's in front of us. And
It was, yeah, it is, yes.
any questions regarding the city manager report?
Well, I'm looking at the floor, I'm sorry,
Yes, ma'am.
looking at the Archer Community Center floor waxing, and it says it requested a 30-day follow-up.
Yes. To see, if I remember correctly, to see if we were in a better financial situation, or to see if we wanted to go ahead and move forward. The longer we wait, the worse.
And it's in our
It's
budget,
making the floors.
starting October 1st, as a budgetary consideration for maintenance.
Okay.
And
I just don't want to,
I mean, just for discussion, I would like it to be in the new budget year. I know I'm just asking for 3 weeks, but
Oh, no, I
think-
can call and let him know it would have to be in October.
it'll be in the next quarter for sure.
Right.
But, because we kind of know the price tag, but
Yeah.
it would allow us to have that injection of maybe a couple of revenue items or whatever to stabilize us a little bit more. I mean, that's my opinion about it. We're not going to lose the floors in 3 weeks, but it would be in the new budget year then that it's budgeted for, and would be closer to where we are in comparison, profit and loss or expenses to what we budgeted.
And I wanted to call him and speak to you too, like Mr. Leon Gowski. I'm messing up his name. Thank you. Facebook is very. It could be very helpful. So I was wondering, because I don't know how to do it, but if we can get a younger person like with Kenny to do the floor, and let him put something on Facebook that he did it, would he give us a discount? Because that would be a lot of advertising for him, and it'll be beneficial to us if he would take something off. Because if he's doing a job like that for the city of Archer, any city, it looks good for him. And if we can get the right person to do a video and he get like 1,000 views, he's gonna get more jobs from it. So I was wondering if we talk to him to see what he'd be willing to do something like that, and first get a younger person who will know how to do it, because I don't know how to do it, and to see, because that might cut off some of the costs and let him get more jobs
All right,
too.
we have the website to utilize. We don't have a city-sponsored Facebook page, right? Took that down. We have
But we can use
Chat with Archer, whatever that other post is, of which, do we know who the administrator of that is that's still live in the city of Archer?
we could put it on our own. I mean,
Archer word of mouth.
That's private.
That's private, but
Yeah.
you're not the administrator of that, are you?
Oh, no.
Okay, that's just the word that's out there, and I'm sorry to do a public inquiry, but I said, I don't think
I mean,
y'all are
but
right.
if we put it on our own personal
I mean, you
pages,
used to share on it, but you're not the administrator of it.
yeah, if we put it on our own personal pages, I mean, some of my
we
videos
could put it
get
on the website.
7 to 1,000 views of some of the crazy stuff I post, but it get like 1,000 views. And if she get put on hers and this one, he's gonna get over 1,000 people watching this video of work that he's done. So he might be willing to give a little bit of a discount, and he'll get more business, and we'll get a discount.
Is that legal, Mr. Attorney?
Yes.
Okay. Sorry.
Thank you.
Short, no rabbit hole, just short and to the point.
I mean,
Is
it's
that
just an
legal?
idea.
No rabbit hole, kill the rabbit.
Because with my brother, he did not believe in Facebook. He didn't believe in Facebook, and he was selling that there. I said, I tell you what, everybody who's seen it on Facebook, if he come up here and say, I get $1, after that 20th person, he was done with me. So that's what I'm saying. It might be beneficial to both of us.
I mean, gonna do it, but just wait.
I think the
So we can
pastor
talk to-
knows somebody that does that, the videos.
Oh, okay.
Oh, yeah, that's.
Still on the floor polishing, but just seeing if we could do it with some money savings, so.
He may,
Because
it's just an idea.
Okay,
We'll go.
Okay. Attorney report? Thank you.
Mr. Mayor, December 4th 4 o'clock is our ethics training. You get your 4 hours in. Hopefully we'll make it entertaining. Danielle and Kirsten have always come through on that in the past. And we'll try to feed you a little bit when you're there and get the ethics training certificate. So you.
Did you say 4?
4 o'clock on December 4th. So you all are welcome. We'll get you a more formal invitation out.
Thank you.
And come on to the office and we'll get that done.
Okay.
And the office is downtown Gainesville, so that's where we're at. I'd like to thank Judge Ramsey for coming and making a presentation, introducing himself to us, and it's very, very special to sit through a meeting and
Usually judges don't do that.
there was one judge that did that I knew a long time ago. He's now since passed, but it's James Tomlinson, and he used to do that as well. And I just thought that was a tremendous thing. I don't know if you got that from Judge Tomlinson,
No.
or that was, but it was just a tremendous thing.
Thank you for the empathy, not sympathy, empathy. Might be turned into sympathy for it.
But I certainly wanted to thank him for that. That's all I had,
Thank
Mr.
you,
Mayor.
All right. Commissioner Penny, anything for the good of the country?
Okay, one or two things, sir. One thing I did go to was the labor union breakfast, and it was very. I talked to Ken Cornell, and if y'all ever see the MVs here in Archer who take patients to doctors, on October the 6th, it seemed like the city and Alachua County is having a debate who want to pay for this service. So I requested half of the day off because I wanted to go to it because it will affect the people in Archer, Newberry, all the off sites, anything that's not inside the city limits. They're trying to take away this. So hopefully someone else can go with me.
So the MV transport,
The one that the van y'all see come through Archer have MV transport. I know about 4 people that picked up. So if anybody else know anybody else, please let me know. Inbox me, call me. I want to see how many residents it really affect in Archer, because it's Archer, La Crosse, all our sister cities. So that's one thing I went to. I also went to a meeting in Newberry to meet our senator. What was his name?
Chad Johnson.
Yeah. Girl. You thought our meetings was bad. These people, they were not kind. These 2 women standing behind me, I thought they was finna go to blows.
Where was this?
It was in Newberry.
Oh.
I had to back up. I was like, that's in the right. Because this woman said, don't you come up closer to me. I was like, okay. So I went to that also. I'm sorry, but you had to be there. And they showed out. And what else did I go to? I went somewhere else.
did you get a chance to talk to Johnson?
Girl,
or did he...
it was like church. When they said, may the Lord watch between, I was trying to get out of there. So no, it was a lot of people around him, so I didn't try to go up to him. And that's about it, I think. I did have the opportunity to go with Miss Lopez up to the center and look at the monument. I'm messing that word up also. It is some cracks in that sidewalk, and she wanted to get like an estimate. Could we get an estimate how much it is to fix that and some of the bricks? Because how the crack is like right up under it. So I don't want it to continue to make it might fall or crack in the middle of it or something. So we do need somebody to see, can we get somebody to come out and look at that? Other than that, I think that's all I've done.
Okay, thank you, ma'am.
Huh?
Name of the company is Jam.
Okay, and the name of the company is Jam.
Jam Construction?
They came out and I guess they looked at it earlier.
Okay, all right, thank you. Commissioner Green? Anything for the good of the country?
Yes, for the good of Archer. Yes, I am happy to report, even though I'm waiting on my first drop. Been working on this off and on for about 2 years, but I am happy to report for the first time in history, we are supposed to get mail U.S. Postal Service in the Holly Hills neighborhood. We've been working on it. And I waited on my first drop. I put my mailbox out.
That's an accomplishment.
And yes, and so we get that first drop because that is a neighborhood, a subdivision that should not have been forgotten all these years. Has been there forever. It was African American neighborhood, and everywhere else in Archer has postal service. We were always forced. I think they owe us some money too. We were always forced. I grew up in that neighborhood. I'm what, how old am I? 66.
Oh, Lord,
And we've always had to go to the post office, reel the box. And so, yes, so I'm waiting on my first drop.
All right.
Hallelujah, praise the Lord.
All right.
All right, Vice Mayor, you have,
No, I don't. Thank you.
okay. Commissioner White? Nothing to report.
Oh,
No.
I'm sorry, the opioid thing too. I did have a meeting, I'm sorry. I did have a meeting, and if you go on I-75, it's like 4 billboards in reference to it. The opioid, and it's a website you can go to now, and also it's gonna be on the radio. I did not know that, I started this being on the opioid about 2 years ago, two and a half years ago. And for Alachua County in the state of Florida to be in the top, at first, when I first got there, it was number 3. I think we're still in the top 5. So that's a lot of kids. And most of their, they get most of their drugs from their grandparents and their parents, who go to the doctor, forget about medication, stop taking it, and it's a big deal. So I did have that meeting, and we're having more meetings. So, okay, I'm sorry.
No, you're good.
Yeah, that's all I've done.
Thank you. Commissioner White? Nothing? Okay, I attended the North Central Florida Planning Council at the end of the month, last month, and the guest speaker was someone from Department of Transportation District 2 that was speaking about the highway and interstate safety issue that's escalating. His name is, and this is someone you can reach out to, you can look up on DOT District 2. It's Jordan Green. He's the Director of Transportation and Support. And he's at the Tallahassee head DOT level. And he just reported that 8 people a day are killed on our Florida interstates a day, every 24 hours, and 49 people a day are critically injured on the interstates. Their focus is now on everything else the DOT oversees, but on the interstate issue, for those that travel, there are twofold issues with the interstate. One, the 900 people a day plus that are moving into the state of Florida, but creates then the traffic flow increase. And if you travel on any of the interstates, you battle with the trucks. It used to be, all due respect to truck drivers, but it used to be tagging at 80. They now do, I know just between here and Lake City, they push 90 miles an hour, 53-foot 18-wheelers. Not saying they're the reason for the escalated increase in accidents, but he asked that if you see sections of any highway, not just interstates, but please report that there's dangerous escalating issues with that. And the example is between Gainesville and Lake City. The commuting traffic now is pushing 90 miles an hour. If you flow with the traffic, it's no longer 80, it's 90, especially as you enter into Columbia County. And they're addressing they call it the 4 E's of safety, and that's, is it an engineering issue with the highway itself? Is it an educational issue with no signage or the texting while driving, that kind of thing that you're witnessing on a regular basis? Is it enforcement, the speed limit itself, and, a concurrent act, a set of over the speed limit issues in a certain sector? Or is it an emergency issue because the roadways aren't providing the right kind of emergency getting out of the lane? They are proposing to Tallahassee in the next year or two to actually assign truck lanes where there'd be nothing but, and I think in South Florida they have some of the interstate traffic, it's like that, trucks only, or Orlando I know already has established that in Orange County. So I don't think that's a bad idea between Gainesville and I-10 anyway for us, but that's just an update. And again, his name is Jordan Green, and anybody from DOT could take the information on that. The other thing I mentioned was the SB 180 that was passed in the spring legislation, and this kind of really concerned me about home rule. It's the idea that our comp plans and our amending our comp plans go through the recommendation, review process with our area regional councils like we have with North Central Florida Regional Planning Council. Some of the councils no longer are even doing that in some of the other regions because the Department of Commerce in Tallahassee is now an authoritative review body that can actually deny that amended comp plan and send it back rather than just reviewing it. And they have some authority that they didn't have before through the SB 180. What the driving force behind that is economic recovery in our growing state. When we have a disaster like hurricanes in 23 and 24 that targeted certain counties, in their economic recovery, they didn't want to stifle the impetus to try to do comp amendments to get themselves back in recovery mode with the building and the things like that. So there's more to come, but the councils are kind of rallying together to try to do some legislative communication at the Tallahassee level to make sure that the home rule is not completely removed from comp plan amendments. And that was one of the impetuses for me to consider that tonight in an advisory committee that could just start developing that, because we're going to hit a roadblock that we haven't had before. Because what year do we not have and so far this year we haven't had a disaster with a hurricane, but we've got 8 more weeks to go. But every year that there is a disaster, the 3-year SB 180 plan extends another year. So if there's a disaster this year, they add another year onto the 3-year SB 180 timeline. So it's that catch-22 thing. Don't want a disaster, but it could happen because we're, a hurricane-prone state. But, more to come as they're actually going to have one guest speaker hour presentation sometime in the near future at the North Central Florida Planning Council with the participants, just to bring home more information about, not to circumvent the actions with comp plan amendments, but how do you put things in it that will be approved through the Department of Commerce, because they're the new boss in Tallahassee to have the final word on those things. And that's all I have to report.
Mr. Mayor,
Yes, ma'am.
on the manager's report, there is one thing we need to address, and that's the chamber TV for the agenda.
Yeah, Eric came out, he came out for something else, I believe. No, he did come out just to look at that. He was saying from the other city municipalities, he would recommend either a 65 or a 75-inch TV. That way people can see, because I know there was concern,
From the whole audience?
Correct.
One screen like that? would do
Right, so
that?
he pulled them up. He just said you could get best buy wherever, but they're like $450-ish, like around that range. So I didn't know if you guys wanted to approve that or not.
Well, I have a question.
Instead of the copying.
I have a question. We don't have a projector to use we don't.
No, ma'am, we don't.
And is it something that could be moved and utilized like in the future or whatever if the screen?
The TV? The
Yeah,
TV,
the
I'm
screen,
sure it
just,
could be.
it could be
yes.
moved
Yes, yes.
to another
Yeah,
site or whatever,
mounted, all
if
that.
we accommodate another building or
Right.
whatever in the next 2 or 3 years or whatever and get that.
I mean, you can wait, I just know you asked to check to
Would-
see what Emerald Data could do, and yes,
Would they do a formal
my
proposal and put it on the agenda for next
Sure,
month,
yeah, because
and then-
my computer screen, you just pull up the agenda and then someone will just have to
And it would go-
scroll.
blow
so
up on
it'll-
the screen.
If it's me again, that's fine, but yeah, or anybody just scroll through, you just have to pay attention
Because
to
it
what's
was
going
one, yeah,
on.
it was one of the factors we considered as we don't do more copies, we
Correct.
could have it posted up
Correct.
there. And even have the agenda scrolling as we go through things. And
Correct.
It would be beneficial for me and
Exactly.
Mrs. Lopez, because the phone is just not good.
you don't want to use my flip phone, my $20 flip phone?
I don't even want to use mine.
So
Okay.
just bring back some quotes from the TVs?
Yeah,
Okay, gotcha.
is that appropriate? Is that okay with everybody? By consensus? Okay. All right. Last but not least, comment period, second comment period?
Yep.
Anyone, please? Yes, ma'am, Ms. Fiore.
Karen Fiore. So I started with the first public comment requesting my public records request.
Yes, ma'am.
And every time I do this, all I get is thank you, but no final word. So can I get a timeline? Can I get, yes, I'm gonna receive it? Can I get, no, I'm not gonna receive it? Can I get the reason why I'm not receiving it?
Yes, ma'am. Please.
The reason, whoever's out there listening, you're giving your public, as soon as I can get them done, I'm giving them to you guys, so I have all the emails, I have all the stuff from the agendas. Do you have time, and I think Lori's listening, to send, she sent me what I still owe her, but I'm actually not sure what I owe you. Or if not, I can just look through all my emails and
Ms.
just figure
Fiore,
it
would you send
out.
that to all the commission and Ms. Altop, just so that we're all on the same page as? Again, I'm sorry,
Because some of the stuff, it's not
because you spoke,
fair.
and you spoke about the AFLAC as one item, I mean, that was one of the
Yes.
items, I know.
I
so.
I
Yeah.
gave up on the stuff I asked for 3 months ago. I just want the Aflac stuff, yeah. But I'll send an email.
Thank you. And send it to all the commission if you will.
I'll send it again to all of them.
Thank you. Yes, ma'am, Ms. Green, welcome.
I didn't say this during the property tax time, but you know, Archer has a high percentage of people that are not property owners and pay no property tax at all. If there was a way we could implement a sales tax in Archer, that's the most fair tax there is. We would all pay it, everybody would pay it, but that was just a thought. Mr. Walker, it's good to see you back up here. A lot's happened in these 10 years.
Thank you. Anyone else? Yes, ma'am. Welcome.
Hello, Tanya Dean,
Hello, Tanya.
property owner here. Couple things. I don't see anybody addressing the 4-story piles of dirt and this construction that's happening. It's so extreme, it's making my whole house vibrate. My property directly abuts that construction, and I've received no notice of what's happening. Also, I would like to say, how as citizens are we to trust this organization when the city manager prior has stolen so much money? And then just this week, we found out that Justin Southard is stealing $1,000 a week. $1,000 a week for 3 months. I mean, who knows how much more it was? Who knows how much more extensive this is? And then you're asking us to put 21% on our property taxes, and you're asking us to increase the water. I feel, fool me once, shame on you. Fool me twice, shame on me, because why would we want to, look at me, $10 an hour, I came from work, I stink. Right? I didn't make no money. I'm running my house by myself. I don't eat out. You know what I mean?
Yes, ma'am.
Why? Why would we give you more money? Why would we? Like, it doesn't seem to, these things don't happen in a vacuum. Clearly it doesn't happen in a vacuum, because now this is the second instance, and this is under direct scrutiny that, oh yeah, we're gonna fix everything, we're gonna look at everything, we're really doing it now. And this guy's taking $1,000 a week, and what is he? What was he? Was he like a like somebody that just does like the little bits and pieces around town, right? He shouldn't even have access to money. Who's accounting for this? What's happening? Like, it's very disturbing. Thank you.
Thank you. Thank you for being here. Anyone else? Yes, ma'am, Ms. Lopez.
I don't think that we can discuss anything about what happened yesterday or today because of the legalities. Am I right? I'm right. Okay. What I want to follow up with, Ms. Vieira, and you know all of the times that I have requested my public records, because I send you the information almost weekly. And I've been requesting them since the first of the year. And some of the requests that I put in were applications. I'm gonna finish. I requested applications from the rental of the community center way back the beginning of the year, from October 1st of 2024 to March. Now with all of the things that have come up, I'm requesting, and I'll pay for it, October 1, 2024, up to the present time. I would like to see every application for rentals. Because I know I can't discuss all this other stuff, but I've also been telling all of you over the years, and everybody need to know this, why the City of Archer Community Center never made any money. Where was it going? I don't know. But this is what is happening right now, is creating a lot of questions. And I want some answers. And I think y'all need to do an extensive audit, focusing in on the water and the Archer Community Center over the last 4 or 5 years. This is serious business. I don't know if y'all know it or not. It is serious. I'm at the point in my life right now, I need to really go to see DeSantis. I'm serious. It is that bad. It is that bad. Archer looks so bad right now, it is pitiful. I cried today because I love Justin. I have a, what is it, sweet and sour taste in my mouth, or whatever you want to call that thing, I don't know. But I mean, you know, some people get in trouble, some don't. But I'm telling you, if you guys had just listened to Laura, myself, and others, we wouldn't be here. And that is hurting me more than anything. And I just want to let you know that. And I hope you bail out of this, but it's not going to be easy. Because I think it goes beyond Justin.
Thank you, ma'am. Anyone else? Okay, with that said, at 9:27, this meeting's adjourned. Thank you for your participation this evening.
31, where you get 9:27 from?
I'm watching that clock. It's wrong. Just as
It's
wrong.
9:31.
Close enough. Turn your timer off.